pick last season. Nice shot early this year for the Lakers. He connects on the mid-range.
That's a shot Ingrid can hit, but you can live with. Penny Atkinson, defensively, what they want to do is force mid-range jump shots. And that's a situation where Ingram isn't a guy you want going all the way to the hoop so you can take that.
LeVert trying to work Kuzma. 7 to shoot. Russell gives it up. 5 to shoot. LeVert on the drive, flipped it back to Caldwell Pope. Sets up a fast break and a lift. Russell quickly into the front court for Brooklyn. Lakers have scored 4 straight. They have a 13-9 lead. Each of these teams 3 and 5 to begin the season. Russell off on a 3 and Paul the rebound. Ball just zips up the floor. Lopez will try. Not that tough. Russell with the nifty handle. Trying to get in on the switch to Hollis Jefferson. Jefferson's jumper is good.
I love the way that possession finished, but it touched just 2 guys, stayed on one side of the floor, forgetting this offense flowing and not allowing it to get stagnant. You want to keep it on.
Good dish from Ball. Lopez the finish, and a timeout taken by Brooklyn. A 15-11 start for the Lakers. Good action.
Just like old times. Remember the good old days? We used to do globalist hangouts. Well, I'm going to start one up today.
5. Coming in at number 5, we are going to San Antonio. KD with the L crossover. Gets the cup, and one thing he could do is finger roll in the basket. Yes, sir. Moving on to number 4. Dame Lillard, pick and roll.
Remember?
Fancy with it. That is how you want a screen and roll.
I remember.
Big man. Moving on to number 3, back to San Antonio, the pride of Seagoville High. And the long haul, Marcus Aldridge. With the fadeaway getting bodied up with Draymond Green, it's not enough as he knocks down the fadeaway.
I'm going to refill my drink and take a bong rip.
Yep. Number 2, who could it be? Who could it be? It's the one and only Danny Green. Get big. You want to show everybody you've been working out. You've been on them weights, baby. Yes, sir. And the number 1, you know exactly what time it is. Dame Dollar. Big game Dame. 4 games. Splash. Damian Lillard knocks down the shot. Sends the Blazers home victorious. Yes, Dame time, baby. And that's your top 5.
Twitter or Instagram with the hashtag @TheLakersGame, and you may see yourself on the video board at halftime. Not all photos will be displayed.
The Nets traded Brook Lopez in June. They took out full-page ads in all of the local papers, thanking him and listing his many contributions and accomplishments throughout his Nets career. But last year itself, he had a lot of historic accomplishments. First player in NBA history to average 20-plus points, over 1.6 blocks in less than 30 minutes. How about less than 10 threes one season, more than 130 the next? First in NBA history. First player ever with 8 blocks and 6 threes in one game. And as we talked about earlier, his first 8 seasons, he had 3 made threes total. Last year, he had 21 different games where he made at least 3 3-pointers.
I think one of the most impressive things, though, we saw out of Brook Lopez last season, of course, Kenny Atkinson asked him and they helped him develop that 3-point shot, give him the green light, his leadership, and not just his work. I think an example on the floor of how vocal he became with such a young forward.
Kenny Atkinson saying he's as good a professional and nice a guy as he's ever been around. And we should show him a lot of respect.
See you later, Antonio. Oh, good night, man. Recharge those batteries.
A couple of changes out of the timeout. Zeller into the game as well as Allen Crabbe. Out there with Levert, Russell, and Hollis Jefferson, and now Joe Harris is getting ready to check in for Brooklyn. Tries to get in before the ball was inbounded. He's going to have to wait. 15-11 Laker lead. Here's Crab, denied by Lopez, and then control. He's able to alter it just a bit. Here's Ball working around the line. Brooks spins, bodies, went up and down, and that is going to be a jump ball.
You know what? Tyler Zeller did such an excellent job in that Phoenix game. He came in 17 minutes, 4 points, 4 rebounds, and you're going to see a lot of Tyler Zeller tonight. Jarrett Allen out with a sore foot, and take a look at all the rest. Quincy Acy with the last few games. Trevor Booker out with a sore back. That's 3 bigs for this Nets team that isn't necessarily deep at that position as is. So Zeller is going to be counted on for Atkinson.
And we gave a cursory mention earlier to this, but it's true. Kenny Atkinson said that
what's up, Billy Sunday?
Probably would use.
What's up, Issa Chair Lion?
He liked what he saw from it in the game against Phoenix.
Rock says, "Hey Dan, I just finished making a globe to burn on Sunday at the bonfire. It's really cool. I will send a pic on Skype. Awesome."
And when you look at the personnel because of the injuries,
Billy Sunday says, "The Battle of the Maps, a live debate between Jaronism, David White, Slory Ferry, and Darren Nesbitt, streamed on all of our YouTube channels." What's up, Billy Sunday? Like and share.
Russell, no, off the window. Caldwell Pope the board. 8-2 Lakers run. Caldwell Pope adjusts and finishes on the run.
Caldwell Pope is such a sneaky player. You don't want to give this easy look to get going because he can put up a lot of numbers.
Nice look from Russell to Zeller. Excellent vision there from D'Angelo Russell. Here's Lopez. 5 points so far in this first. The Crab dribble, the back down, and the lane a long time, fading away. Can't hit. Crab will collect the rebound.
What a smart decision there by that Nets team. They don't double for Lopez, which we were so used to seeing last season. Stayed home.
And Crab buries the 3. Lakers will call a timeout. 5 straight for Brooklyn to cut it to 3. Timeout, LA.
Oh, cool, dude. Thanks for stopping in, Billy Sunday. I appreciate you just stopping in, saying hello. Hiya. It's really nice. I do appreciate that.
To play along, download the Chevron mobile app and select the card you think will win. Once the race starts, be sure to hit the TechRun Turbo button to fuel your car to victory.
Top of the day to you, THC, my main man. If you'd like to join, let me know. I'll hand you a link.
Take advantage of a special offer just for Laker fans. Sign up today, receive 1 premium Lakers item for free. So don't miss out. Get the LA Times. Real journalism, real impact.
Cool, I'll hand you a link, bro.
Are you ready to experience Southern California's best casino? Well, if you're seated tonight,
although,
section 325, seat 1, you just want to get
although it is going to be a little bit hard to hear you. I remember when I tried to invite other people on when I was watching the Lakers, I had to wear headphones or something, I remember. So we'll see what happens, man.
A luxurious resort and spa, 11 delicious dining options, and a championship golf course. Experience it all. Only at Pachanga Resort.
It is time for Where Brooklyn at, Sarah. Are you in the Halloween spirit still?
Wait, isn't it over?
Well, you know, this is an extended holiday.
Continue on.
Hopefully I can just hear you.
He is. He's at the Headless Horseman Haunted House in Ulster,
Yo,
New York.
peace out, Billy Sunday.
He's been a Nets fan since the Jason Kidd era. took his Nets hat along with his wife Benita, with a beautiful name, mother Linda,
Who gives a
and
fuck?
her boyfriend Don on this spooky journey. He also watches all 82 games with his dogs Moose and Angel, and Angel is a Kustok fan.
No way!
Yes.
Wait, is Angel the dog?
Yeah, Angel barks it a certain amount of times to let him know. Like it's like two. Are you a Kustok fan? 2 barks for yes. Angel delivers 2 barks. That's what yeah. I think that's a seal you just made the noise of, but yes. Thank you to Brandon. If you have a picture in a story, you can wear Brooklyn Nets, submit your photos on Twitter or Instagram by tagging @Nets on Yes using the hashtag Wear Brooklyn Net, or email Nets. Email Nets at YesNetwork.com. What kind of dogs you grew up around? Clarkson finishes plus the
Nice.
Just into the game, gets whistled for what is the first foul of the game.
Take a look here. Clarkson going hard to the basket, and then when he gets him on the body before he even rises up. And Clarkson's a player who's coming off the bench. He has made it clear his goal is to be 6th man of the year, but he is a scorer for this Lakers team. And you got to respect him. His deep shooting, his three-point shooting, and that's why sometimes he gets players up and is able to have a clear lane to the basket.
An exaggerated delay on the substitution, and LA is called for a delay of game warning as a result. And Josh Hart, the rookie, checked in with Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, and Jordan Clarkson, the others for the Lakers. Next with Hollis, Jefferson, Dinwiddie, Zeller, Crabbe, and Joe Harris.
We talk so much about the net bench and second unit. This Lakers second unit has been very productive.
Crabbe gave it up, got it back, puts it up, got hit, and Allen Crabbe will shoot 3. I don't know what Josh Hart is complaining about. He clearly swiped Crabbe on the side of the head.
And I love all the movement by Crabbe. You see him coming off of this handoff, has plenty of space to go straight up, and Hart clearly tips Crabbe right there. And you know, even early on, there's been some games where he's not been moving around as much. Sometimes in the flow of this motion offense, you got to create movement for yourself. You're not always going to have a set play call where you have a downstream comment or you have some pin down. So far early in this game, Crabbe has done a good job of being involved by body movement and staying, cutting off of the ball and off the pass.
Well, it's something he's talked about as well. You know, his time in Portland, obviously, the scores they had in Lillard and C.J. McCollum, you could find yourself maybe standing around.
And that was more of his role.
Yeah.
Let us create and let us use a lot of space in the middle of the floor, and you stand out and spot up. And this is the different role that he's expected on the next team. And it's an adjustment that he needs to do that game in, game out.
Yo, what's up, THC? What's up, dude? I'm watching the Los Angeles Lakers, which are basically like the New York Yankees of basketball. You know, like the favorites and also the favorites that everyone hates. Everyone loves to love the Yankees and everyone loves to hate the Yankees. So the Los Angeles Lakers are the Yankees of the basketball league. I'm just breaking it down in layman's terms for, you know, the brainwashed people out there. So when in 2003, 2002, I started to watch and play basketball and then watch it. And then I noticed who the best players in the world were, and they were Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. And they were on the same team at the same time. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a Lakers fan because they have the best players. It's Kobe and Shaq. That's obvious to see. And besides that, there was Tracy McGrady, Tim Duncan, San Antonio Spur. Who else? You know, like Vince Carter, if you remember these people. Fucking not many, man. Kobe, Allen Iverson. Kobe took them all down. Like the difference between Kobe and all these people that in the history of the NBA is that it's longevity. you have to. It's longevity. It's 20 years. The same team. That's called loyalty. That's an NBA record. No, everyone is a ring chaser. They're trying to get their goals and their achievements and their accolades. But it's very interesting once you look at the basketball. Out of all of the sports, baseball, hockey, football, lacrosse, soccer, and go on and on and on. Basketball is the most poetic and artistic sport there is. You can, it's, matter of fact, I called it years ago. I said that basketball would become more popular than football. And based on my calculations, it kind of seems to be true. I'm pretty sure that basketball is more popular than football now. There's been a downgrade. The ratings in football and NFL have been totally down. The sales and jerseys and the viewers, the merchandise, the pizza sales and the local football, everything's down, and all the pizza people are like, oh, I blame that these black athletes protesting the national anthem. Pure hogwash, garbage, propaganda. You know how the media just makes up garbage, so it's easy to see through it, and I enjoy it. I've been watching it, so I've had the privilege of watching it for over a decade, and so I know how these commercials run. I know how they evolve. I know how sports evolves. As a matter of fact, I know that the sports leagues are the players are gonna take over the leagues. That's what these owners are. By the way, most of the owners are Jewish. These owners are afraid of the Players Association taking over the entire league. They don't need refs anymore. The refs could be ex-NBA players. All commentators and all refs have to be ex-players, men and women. And so you have entire players' leagues. And the players' leagues will be supported by the players only. And it's a very interesting prospect because that gets rid of the middleman, which is everyone controlling us. They don't want to happen, and that's why they're so animate in fighting against it. That's why the referees wear black and white stripes. That's what they do. They're the refs.
You fucking nailed it. You fucking nailed it. Oh, you fucking nailed it.
Yo, speak up, man. Take over a little bit. I'm gonna pour a drinky. Boo.
Hey, no. You're fine, mate. I'm just listening to it because it's in plain sight, black and white. Come on, man. You know, it's not hard to figure out. They're not choosing green and purple. It's like, look at the flickering of the TV. It's black and white. It makes you laugh. You know, come on, man. I mean, everyone's brainwashed, brother. Come on, let's be realistic here. How many people watch fucking TV? I am engaged. Everybody, if you look at my fucking daily program, I deal with 98% of the public that fucking watch at least 6 hours of TV a day. Mate,
that's way too much.
They do that every day, man. I mean, it's a large proportion of society.
My dad probably watches like maybe over 12 hours a day.
Holy shit, man! Your brain's being rewired. So when it gets rewired, it's firing another way. So how does it fire? Well, it fires in fear. The fucking boogeyman.
My dad's an interesting case because he knows it's totally rigged. I think he knows deep down in his heart that the world's flat because he was a Navy man, a seaman for many of his years, and I mean he's used sextants and been in all the oceans. and he's never seen the curve. And it's just so interesting. It's like the side effects is that it steals his will to live. He doesn't think that there's anything to live for. Yeah, I got nothing to live for. You know, why should I want to live? Why would I need to live?
But that's the program, brother. It's the program of the Matrix. The Matrix wants you to be a fucking battery.
It's like, I don't know, you have yourself, your wife, your friends, your life, your son. There's many reasons that you'd want to live. You know, nature, you know, there's many reasons why you'd want to live. But, well, that's what happens when you smoke cigarettes and you watch television every day of your life. The thing about flat earthers that smoke cigarettes is that they're not totally out of the program. And actually, it's interesting because if you smoked a pipe full of tobacco, I would respect you more than if you smoked cigarettes. And that's me using my judgment. And people are like, well, you're judging that person who smokes cigarettes and you're comparing it and judging him differently than the person who has a pipe and puts tobacco in it. And yeah, I do. I think that person who smokes a pipe and puts tobacco in it is a little bit intellectually more sophisticated and probably emotionally and mentally more sophisticated than the person who buys cigarettes from gas stations. Is that might be a generality, but I guarantee you would enjoy the conversations you had with the pipe smoking organic tobacco smoker than the cigarette smoker. It's just a fact of life. The flat earthers who smoke cigarettes, it's like, it's annoying. It's annoying. I make fun of a lot of people. I laugh at a lot of people. But to sit there and to just laugh in everyone's faces for over an hour, for over like 2 hours, and then just sitting there smoking your cigarettes, and it's like, well, Dan, you have a drink in your hand. Well, I'd rather drink spirits than I'd rather drink whiskey than smoke cigarettes. I'd rather do that, and I choose to do that. I don't smoke cigarettes. There's something about cigarettes that really, like, if you roll your own spliffs, then I'll respect that. Like, there's just something different about rolling your own spliffs and packing your own pipes with fucking tobacco compared to fucking buying, what is it, Marlboro or what? Fucking, what are all these cigarette brands? It's just like, those people is that, yeah, I'm totally on the button there. And it pisses a lot of people off, so that's why I'm saying it. I'm saying that to piss people off because is he drinking a boutique beer? I bet he's drinking some GMO shit. No, I'm drinking whiskey. Drinking some fucking rum, drinking some fucking whiskey. San Diego has some of the best beer on the plane. Yes, my camera is fucking shit. Sell me some weed, dude. Why do you record yourself, bro? Well, many reasons. If you know anything about virtual reality and digital mechanics like I do, you'll understand that the tool that I'm using right now called the internet, it's a healing mechanism. Actually, it's made of the elements and the components of Earth. And so I'm speaking to multiple people in multiple countries at the same time. And I have someone on the panel from a different continent. Brian G says, literally, who wants to watch you? Well, there's 15 people watching me right now and listening to me. So, yeah. So now you feel stupid because you're watching me and you're listening to me. And I'm watching the Lakers. I have a friend on the panel that I can talk to who's in a different continent. And I have multiple people here in the chat room, like yourself, who are talking.
I would rather 15 people that have common sense than be surrounded by hundreds. But I don't give a shit. So, you know, this is not a popularity contest. I'm here because I like you, Dan. Everyone else can go and fuck themselves. I'm not here for them.
Uh-oh. Well, now we have 20 people watching because of you. Magic Johnson faked his AIDS, and Brian G is one of those people. And, now we're back. See? And now he's laughing. The guy that was making fun of me a second ago, now he's laughing his ass off and having a good time, Anthony. I'm watching my team here. We got the Los Angeles Lakers. It's 34-29. Lakers just stole the ball, passed it up to KCP, right back to fucking Kuzma, and that's a foul. And now we have the Los Angeles Lakers going to the line to shoot 2 free baskets, otherwise known as free throws. Free throws. Free throws.
Do you agree with it or do you disagree?
Oh, it was a foul. I got into a heated argument with my roommate the other day. My roommate has played basketball in high school and is an avid fan of basketball. He plays fantasy basketball. He does everything. And I'm like, dude, all sports are rigged, like 99.9%, and the referees are in control of everything, every play. Every second, every whistle, everything, and he knows it. And I've heard him say it like a dozen times. And this time, I'm like, dude, I'm like, they're counting. What was it? They're counting the 3 point. They're counting that as a 3-point shot. It should only be 2 points. And he's like, dude, I'm sick of you saying that shit. You've been saying that for like 3 minutes. And you're just making it up. And you say it every game. And I'm like, because they do it every game. And I'm like, they don't show any replays. And he's just yelling at me, screaming at me. And after the commercial, I'm like, dude, just shut up, dude. I'm like, they didn't even say anything. And then after the commercial, they come back. And then they're showing the instant replay of his foot on the line, and that the commentators are like, that should have been a 2-point field goal, but it counted as a 3. And I'm like, dude, see, even the commentators are still talking about it. And he's calling me crazy and delusional and stuff, and that I'm making up stories. And I'm like, I'm just being quiet. I'm nodding my head. I'm like, okay, dude. I'm like, just stop screaming. You're just screaming for like 5 minutes at me. Just please stop. And then the commercial comes back, and well, it seems to be that his foot was on the line. And I'm like, see? And he's like, well, and he tried to justify it. He's like, well, you were right this time, but all the other times you're wrong. And I'm like, dude, and he continues to yell at me. And I'm like, dude, just shut up. Like, you've been yelling for like 10 minutes, dude, and I'm right. Like, shut up. Yelling for 10 minutes, I'm right. Shut up. You're delusional. You're living in a fantasy. I know you can't believe me because you're living in fantasy land. I know.
Dan, you're more efficient at reading code. He can't read the code. You see the code. That's all it is. You just see the deception. All he sees is entertainment. You know, that's it. How do you show somebody that?
Exactly. Even the most studied people, Like my buddy is a astute fan of the dirty cheating mechanics of basketball. Even someone who knows it like he does, he has a hard time admitting it. So imagine how hard it is for these other normal people to admit it, that the world is a lie and that everything is rigged and that it's like, I can't tell you. I can just show you. I can just say, look, this is when he cheats. This is when he's following here. This is when that person's taking 5 steps too many. 2 steps. You're only allowed to take 2 steps. That person's taking 3 steps every time. But when the other team does it, it's a foul. When the guy on defense hits the guy's hand, they call a foul on that guy. But when it's the guy that they want to win on offense, he hits the guy's hand on defense. Then it's not a foul. Like, the whole game is in the ref's hands. They dictate how the defense is played. They can let one team on the defense. There's 2 teams. They can let the one team play rougher defense than the other team. Don't you fucking idiots realize that? They can let the one team play harder defense than the other team, and then call the fouls on the other team for trying to play as rough defense as the other team that they don't call fouls on. You have to see through that, you fucking stupid idiots. I know I'm not being nice by calling you stupid idiots, but I don't care about your pathetic emotions. If you can't see through my facade of calling you a stupid idiot, then you're the stupid idiot that I mean to offend. It's incredibly embarrassing. You're a fan of sports entertainment, of sports, and you've been watching it your whole life because that's the only thing that your life is dedicated to. My life is dedicated to truth, honesty, transparency. I can go a little bit wackier than, but your life is dedicated to your sports team or your job or your boss or your family or your friends. See the difference? I've abandoned all of that. I've abandoned the sports, the family, the friends. And only through that abandonment, through a decade of that, now I'm starting to realize that, well, friends and family are very important. So, like, yeah, it's interesting how you come full circle. And now that I've purged all of my friends and family, it's really easy to see who's really there for you. Yeah, I remember the first time I ever went to Las Vegas. Here, I'll tell you this. Thep. Who hurt Dan so much that he comes on here and acts like this? Who hurt him? All of us are hurt.
Well, actually, yes. You know, the first time you got squeezed out of your mummy's, you know what, twat, you got hurt.
My dick was cut off.
You were hurt. That shaved that little bit of skin around, you know what, of your phallic, or
they didn't shave it. They fucking terminated that shit. They got rid of it.
Yeah, so you've been hurt. We've all been hurt. And if you little twats think you have not been hurt, you're still living in a delusion.
Sorry that I admit to being traumatized and hurt. Yeah, like your father, you've never been hurt before? I mean, that's a very interesting human being you must be. You've lived a life of no emotional suffering or mental anguish. That must be quite the life there. Are you a reincarnation of fucking the Buddha here? I don't want to talk to some drunk guy at the pub. I asked Dan. Wait, what? Yo, anyone
You know
who
what?
talks about vibrations, honestly, anyone who talks about low vibrations or high vibrations, you're totally stuck in the New Age movement.
Yes.
You're totally stuck. He's got low vibrations or high vibrations. Totally stuck. I left that paradigm about a year and a half ago. Low vibrations. What was that one song by the Beach Boys? What was like something about vibrations? Vibrations. What was that one? Well, that's an assumption there. I've only done LSD twice in my entire life. So, FEP. I'm 32 years old and I've done LSD twice in my life. So, yeah, your assumption is incorrect. So if you say one more stupid thing, you're going to get timed out. Yes, it is the Beach Boy. Is it good vibrations? Is that how it is? Obviously, DMT is better. Obviously, LSD is like the cute little brother of DMT. You know, like a little something. Dan X. I like the New Age guys. You sound like you like the New Age guys. The New Age movement's a bunch of fucking emotional hypocrites. We got Los Angeles Lakers here. It's 46-41. Ooh, 48-41. There's 5 minutes left here in the second quarter before halftime. Got a 7-point lead. Brooklyn comes up, and we got them. They got themselves a foul call. They're going to the line to shoot too. I'm gonna go pour myself a drinky poo and come back to these stupid comments by Fep. I'll be right back.
Anyway, Dan, isn't it a wonderful day? You know, I've met so many cocksuckers today. I've never met so many cocksuckers in one day. So I've had a wonderful day. I've met cunts and cocksuckers. And you know what? I'm done. So, you know, I just let people know I've actually been on this quest for a long time, but you know, I've got to a point in my life, I'm 50. I let people be people, but if you're in my company and if I know something about you, I'll address you and undress you in front of your peers, your wife, your husband. I don't give a fuck who you are. And yeah, so I don't know, man. I just think this movement is definitely going in the right direction, and I think truth's a good thing. So if anybody has a problem with people expressing their truth, I think they should get a checkup from the fucking neck up. Anyway, I'm rolling a joint. I'm going to fucking smoke the joint. And then to those assholes, where I'm going to go back to my beer, and I'm going to go back and drink my beer, homemade beer. So all you cocksuckers out there that spend your time in sitting in your mother's basement, masturbating in your stained underwear.
Are they jerking off to me? Are they jerking off to us?
Oh, fuck! You know what? Who gives a fuck, mate? You know what? I'm not going to change. I'm going to keep coming on to shows like this and meeting Dan and talking with Dan. And you know what? If you people have a problem, you have access to a link where you can come on and chat decently. And hope you show your fucking face and speak decently, because that's what we're here for, speak truth, regardless of what you believe or disbelieve. Anyway. I'm gonna roll my joint.
I'm gonna go pack another bong rip for myself. Check out some of these comments here. FEP is a new one here. Flat Power. We have a bunch of new people here. What's up, Virgo? Ramsey Phelps. Bunch of strangers here today. We got 250 people watching here. That means 25 to the layman here. 23 people watching here. Where's the Lakers game? The Lakers game's right here. I get to. There's a 4 minutes. It's a commercial right now. There's about 4 minutes left till halftime. The Lakers are up about 6 points, 7 points. And
Do you think they'll win, Dan? Do you think they'll win?
What's up?
You think they'll win?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because they're facing the Brooklyn Nets, who are a very, very pathetic team in the Eastern Conference, who are very, very bad at defense, but who are very good at offense. So it's going to be a very high-paced game and very high-scoring game and very entertaining game, but with no defense at all. It's going to be sloppy. And so it'll be fun. And Cat-Roo 2.0, is D'Lo doing any good? Let's see here. D'Lo's he's playing pretty good, man. D'Angelo Russell is the ex-point guard of the Lakers. I'm gonna put this guy in a timeout to show him what a little bitch he is. There we go. So now all your messages are gone, and now you're gonna listen to me intently without saying anything.
Who is it?
Guy.
Oh, fat guy. Come on. Hey, you know what, man? We've all been an asshole. You know what? You just got to understand, just get the correct size of pants. I know you've been dumbed down by the women you surround yourself with, and you've been
unbutton your pants. Don't stop worrying. No way, Jose. What's up, new guy? Yo, good seeing you, new guy. Chiru, yeah. D'Lo's doing good. So we got yes, Lonzo Ball just fucking put it in. So we got the score is 53-42, so that's a 9-point lead. The Nets just fucking failed executing on offense. And Kyle Kuzma, the other rookie of the year for the Lakers, besides Lonzo Ball, the unknown prospect that we traded for. This guy's name is Kyle Kuzma, and the Lakers seem to do this. They pick up somebody in the draft, or they trade for somebody, and they in the second round, and they turn out to be like the second round guy turns out to be like almost as good as a first round draft pick. Do you understand what I mean by that? And
no, I don't.
So you pick somebody in the first round, and then you pick somebody in the second round, and you pick somebody in the third round based on how good they're going to be. And obviously the people in the second and third rounds are going to be less quality player than the people in the first round. And so the Lakers always seem to pick somebody up in the second round who's just as good as somebody in the first round. You see what I mean now?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And that's fixed.
It's utterly and totally fixed.
Wow.
100%.
You know what? I've watched it. I don't know how many times I can tell you I've watched it, that game, and I just realize now what you just explained, and hopefully people just listen to what you said. You've just explained to me how easy it is to fix a fucking game.
Oh, yeah. That's why I do this. Like, not many other flat earthers do this, and I get a lot of flack for this. A lot of people are like,
shit.
You watch TV? No, like the only television I watch is this and South Park, which is anti-television, anti-comedy, which is what I am. I'm not a comedian. I'm an anti-comedian, and so that the things that I watch have to do with anti-comedy, which is the only things that I watch on television.
You're a salty prick. We call you a salty prick. That's what we call you. You're a salty prick. That's it.
I watch cartoons. I'll watch Rick and Morty, the cartoon. I'll watch South Park. I'll watch the Trailer Park Boys when that comes out next month. And I'll watch WWE every now and then. I don't really watch it when it's on. I like to watch it commercial free. And then I watch fucking my Lakers when they're on. So how much? And I spend about easily less than 2.5 hours. Easily less than 2 hours a day watching television. And I mean, normally it's like it's 2 hours every other day, and that's barely. Like
Dan,
I don't.
it's all about who's watching fucking who anyway. You know, when you watch this shit, it's about knowing you're being watched or you're being deprogrammed or manipulated. You know, I don't give a fuck about the telly lies, whatever you call that fucking thing. If you understand of what it's about, then you understand. Your glasses are off, the veil's down, they're exposed. You watch the guy manipulating the puppet. But it's the people that don't know that, Dan. They think when the news lady talks to them, they're talking to them.
Yeah.
They think they're being taught. You know, you listen to these grown-ups, men. You watch them in the pubs or wherever you go. When the news lady talks, they think they're being talked to, mate. What the fuck? It's weird, mate. I'm telling you, it is. Look, mate. The society's been brainwashed. I don't give a flying fuck what anyone says. It's so easy to have a conversation with someone to know where your ass is at. I'm telling you. And by talking to your ass in half an hour, I know if you've watched it 3, 6, or 12 hours a day of TV and what shows you what, you idiot, through the hand expressions and how you have your hand expressions, because you fuckers have been trained. It's like they're building these groups of people. I don't know what the fuck's going on, man, but the television is manipulating the populace into thinking and acting a certain way. I'm telling you, man, it's fucking weird, dude.
No, absolutely.
Sorry, man.
My mom said this to me. It was when I was in my early 20s. She was taking me probably to my job to go wash some dishes or something, and or like to fucking whatever. What is she? I'm like, Mom, what do you think about the television programming machine there? And she's like, she goes, she's like, I remember thinking in the 80s, in the 1980s, in the early 80s, when it really got popular, the television. She goes, I remember thinking, because there was like police and FBI and CIA, like Law and Order and mystery type of movies and shows and documentaries and the news reports, and they would tell you how to kill people, how to murder people, and how these people got away with it. And so my mom was like, it's almost like they're like telling people how to do these things and get away with it. And I'm like, that's exact, Mom. Like, yes, Mom. And like when she told me that, like, so I knew then she knew. Like, oh, so she knows. She thought about that in the 80s.
Unbelievable. That's great, Dan.
And so I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why she's not. It's interesting because my mom and dad aren't religious. They don't follow any religions, but they were both raised Catholic, and so they raised me Catholic, and they you know, I had to get my confirmation, my communion and my confirmation, because that's what their parents did to them. And it was interesting because I was like a little rascal getting like detentions and referrals and in religion class and getting timeouts and having to sit in a corner like by myself in religion class, and that was a little bit interesting. So I knew it was a fraud back then. It's interesting because just by them putting me in the religion classes early on, that actually sped up my awareness process, because I realized that the nuns and the priests are all lunatics and they're all full of shit. And then when I eventually learned about Bill Hicks and George Carlin and these comedians, and then how they were all ex-Catholics, and all the greatest comedians that ever lived are either ex-Catholics or comedians or Jews. It's very interesting once you study the history of it. I'm like, oh, that's why I like, and now it's very interesting because I've followed certain people throughout my life, like Jim Carrey, and I've stayed on the woodworks, on the fringe, on the fence, of certain people like Alex Jones and David Icke. For my whole, I've never totally swallowed the Alex Jones or the David Icke pill. Everyone, all of my friends tried to get me to do that. They tried to get me to do that with alcohol, with weed, with dirty, pathetic drugs like pills and shit. I never did any of that, and I never did any of that until I wanted to. What I mean by that is that I never smoked a single joint until I was 19, and I never took the David Icke and the Alex Jones pill. I never fully took the I loved ufology, but I never took the Dr. Stephen Greer pill fully. I never fully trusted him. These people, not Michio Kaku. Man, I used to respect Michio Kaku. I used to respect Neil deGrasse Tyson. I used to respect Michio Kaku. All these people I used to respect and admire. Nassim Haramein. I used to respect him. Used to admire him. Now I just realized that these people are just David Wilcock. Are you serious? I'm like, I used to think this guy was a good guy, and now it's just all these people are controlled opposition. It's so easy to see. Joe Rogan, I used to respect you. All these people I used to respect, and now all of my friends who are all gone now, they're like, because of the flat Earth, they go, oh, they're all Alex Jones fans and David Icke and David Wilcox and Wilcock, Corey Good, fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, Michio Kaku. It's like Brian Cox. Now you're all fans of Graham Hancock. That's another one. Now you're all fans of them. That I was a fan of all them in 2010. You gotta grow up. I mean, that's almost a fucking decade ago. You gotta study. I was studying these people almost a decade ago, and you realize they're all frauds. And you made fun of me for studying those people, and now you study all those people, and I'm making fun of you. And then you still make fun of me because I'm on a whole. Don't you realize how stupid and hypocritical? And it's so pathetic. You don't even realize it. Go keep sniffing your own butthole. Go fart in a wine glass and smell that. Swirl it around and smell your own farts. Oh my God. Lakers are up 9 points at halftime, 64-55. Like I said, it's going to be a high-scoring game, 64-55 at halftime. So I'm going to put this on mute.
So who made the decision for the winner and the loser? So who decides that, Dan? Is it the gambler? Is it the gamblers?
Well, that's a very good question. It's the people who own Vegas and who own the casinos, and like, I don't know if anyone in the chat room.
Is it tangible? Is it tangible? Are there really guys that sit across from each other or women that sit across from each other and say, look, I'm buying this. I want this to happen. I don't care what the fuck. It's done. And they buy that game.
These people are friends and family. At the same time as being friends and family, literally friends and family, mostly family, but friends, obviously. It's friends and family. But at the same time, you have to add the mafia aspect into that. So when you have the friends and the family, the third party comes in, which is the mafia, which that is the third party. The mafia is the friends, the family, which equals the whole mafia, which is Vegas. You have to go to Vegas to realize this. It's a literal living entity. It exists on its own. It's all of these people are influenced by the spreadsheet. The spreadsheet is created by banksters, marketers, and mafioso. It's made by people who golf as a lifestyle. That's the only work they do, is golfing. They'll go golf, and you don't know their names. And like the first time I ever went to Vegas and learned, like I saw my brother firsthand. He had a piece of paper, and it said like $100, and then the $100 went up to like $500, and then the $500 went up to $1,500, and then the $1,500 would go up to like $5,000. I'm like, wait, what? And then the $5,000 would go down to $4,000, and then $3,000, and then back down to $1,000, and then back down, and then it would go into the negatives, and then it would go back up into the high. I'm like, what am I looking at here? I didn't understand it, and I started to ask my brother about it, and he's like, oh yeah, this is like betting, and it's like I got like bookies and stuff, and so like you get bookies, and like depending on the bookie will tell you inside information. If you have a good bookie, he'll try to help you win, and that's in quotes, but he wants you to stick around. It's like a mini casino. Like the one man is a mini casino in himself. So if he has multiple clients that go through him making bets, then he could be literally like a Tony Soprano. That's what they do. That's why I say mafioso. So I remember the first time I went there, this guy was teaching me stuff, and he's like, you got to come up with a different name. You can't use your real name. He's like, I said, what's your name? And he's like, oh, my name's Fred Flintstone. And I'm like, oh, your name is Fred Flintstone? He's like, you got to come up with a fake name. You can't use a real name. I'm like, oh, he's like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, my name's Barney Rubble. And he's like, all right, see, you're getting it. And so, like, you have to learn the spread and learn which team is home or away. What team players are injured? Do they have what? You know, you have to look at the injuries on each team. You have to look on who's home or away, and then you have to guess on a spread. The spread's like 0 to 20 points. And if you get in within that spread, you can win. You can bet $1,000 on one game, and in that spread, you can double. You know, you can win $1,500 or double or triple your points. And if you go against the spread and you win it, you'll go 5 times, 10 times your money. So it's just, and you can do this for one game. These people do it for a living. They retire at 21 years old. They retire at 21. They start playing poker. They retire. You gotta realize that, dude. These people are retired at fucking 25. They're rich. Their mom and daddy hooked them up. I got hooked up by mom and daddy, but I don't tell anyone about it. I just start writing a book and start pretending that I did everything myself. Has nothing to do with my rich parents handing me their white privilege. And I won't mention that at all. I won't mention my parents giving me lots of money, so I just get to live in California, and I'm just going to live in California and travel the world and talk spiritually and new agey and get everybody to donate money to me. And yeah, no, that's not what I do. I do the exact opposite of that. Fucking bullshit. I raise money for other organizations. The Church of the Subgenius. It's like, dude, if I fucking raised money for the Church of the Subgenius, like I would if I did it for myself, well, Dan, why are you even a part of it? Because I've made a good amount of money and a great amount of connections, networking and being a subgenius. It's beyond anything you know. You think it's some sort of fucking joke. You're stupid, and you're probably conspiratarded. Oh, is a subgenius part of a cult?
How about
I'm part of an honest cult.
How about some of these people talk about books? How about can they bring up a subject about a great book they've just read? Can you ask all these motherfuckers what is the last book that they read that made a difference in their life?
They have no idea.
Or the only paper that they've touched for the last 10 years is what wipes their ass. So please tell me, you motherfuckers, what is the paper that you touched? What's wiped your ass for the last 10 years? Or have you read a book? What's made a difference? All you do is complain.
They haven't read a book in 10 years. Ask Jake Gibson. When's the last time he's read a book? I guarantee you he hasn't read a book in 10 years.
Apollonius of Tian, you know. Let's read about people that have made a difference, that have done great things in. Anyway.
Let's see here. What's up, flat accord music? Musician for Truth. What's up, bro? Fap, you're totally and completely wrong. It's like he's got a wife. He's happily married, very happily married. So you're gonna get put in timeout for that. Every time you assume, you're gonna get put in timeout. So put you in timeout, bro. Yo, Dread, you wanna join in on this fucking shit show or what?
You know what, Dan? You know, I think what is a very rare find in this world, you know, it's because we've never questioned. If you look at the amount of people that speak, they can actually speak their mind, actually show their face and express what they're thinking. It's a rare thing, mate. It's because the powers to be has driven out individuality. So all you motherfuckers out there, you know, it's all about being individuals. It's like playing an instrument and making your own music, and it's about being, you know, how can I put it this way? It's about being you. not a photocopy of an expression of what society is trying to make you be. You know, I hope I'm not going around in circles, but anyway, fuck it. The reason I like coming on your show, Dan, it's because you're unpredictable. You speak from the heart. Whatever comes to your mind, who regardless is on your show or your hangout or whatever, if they're bent out of shape, that's it. You treat them no different to anybody else, and I really like that. We live in a world today where we're two-faced. You know, you're someone on some show, and then you get on another show, and then you act another way. I got no time for that shit, man. I'm done. I really am. I'm all, I'm getting older, and I just got no time for shit, Dan. Serious.
You hit a vein there. You hit a good vein there. That's why Jake Gibson doesn't join anybody's live streams, because then he would be exposed to showing his personality. He doesn't do that, though. Does he? No, he doesn't. Because, like you said, if you join other people's live streams and you go onto other people's live streams, that would other people get to see how you act on other people's live streams. Me, I go on everybody's live streams, and everybody sees that I act the exact same way on everybody's live streams. The reason why Jake Gibson doesn't is because he's got something to hide. Doesn't he? Oh, yeah! It's his personality and lack of research. Strange.
The research is all there, mate. It's done. You just got to spend a little time and diligence to sit down and understand it. That's it. And actually it makes common sense when you can, when you can actually prove it to yourself, that there is something going wacky. It's not hard to disprove what I've been taught. It's definitely not a round ball. I don't know if this plane ends at a certain place. I don't know if it continues. We just need to explore. It's definitely fucking flat. That's all I can say. It's so fucking flat. It's flat. So flat.
Look up Red-haired Musicians for Truth. Where the hell are you at, brother? Musicians for Truth. Fuck. Oh, where you at, man? Alright, well, I'm just going to put it in your fucking chat. There you go. And if I get sniped, I know it was somebody in your fucking group.
So what's happening in the game now? What's the score?
I'm pretty sure it's just starting back up. Third quarter is starting up here, so I'm gonna fucking switch over to that. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I learned that from my youth. Hold on a sec. Switching over. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Started the third quarter here. So I learned this from my youth. I started in watching acting, and acting on a level that is a completely different level than normal acting. This is why I'm so hyper alert and hyper aware, hypersensitive and empathic, is because I've been watching WWF since I've been 1, 2 years old, 3, 4, like it's 1989. I'm 4 years old. And I understand wrestling already. I understand that there's a good guy and a bad guy, and that there's a script, a play going on. And then as I got older, and as it changed to WWE, it went from World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment. And then there were lawyers and the government involved in changing the name. And I'm like, oh, so even this whole Vince McMahon is a Freemason. His son is a Freemason. They're all referees. The people who wear black and white, they're all gay dick suckers, and they take it in the ass. That's why they're employed there. That's why they're all 5 foot tall dick sucking ass fuckers, and that's what they do. They work there and they live with these people, and they get fucked by them, and they suck these people off. That's their living. That's their choice. Now, not all of them do that, but it's about 95%. I know it's startling to hear this type of stuff, but that's in the rap industry, in the music industry, in Hollywood, the sports entertainment, they're murderers and gang members. Like I said, remember I was talking about mafioso? Yeah, they're all mafioso. Everything. Hollywood, sports, and music is all gang members and mafioso. And they're all filled with rapists, pedophiles, and murderers. Do you realize that? Maybe. I do. Get over it.
Now, quick question. This is just a thought I had a while ago. It's good to see you guys. I'll say hello first. Hello, one and all.
Yeah, hey, everybody, how are ya? Hey.
Oh, it's great to see you, Anthony.
Oh,
and,
you too, brother.
Dan.
Hey,
you guys
love to you and your family, man. Love to you and your family. And, mate, it's just such a sweet thing, man. Have more kids. That's all I can say. Please bless the bloody world, mate, with more children.
Thanks,
I'm serious,
man.
mate.
2 is way more than enough for me. So.
Well, mate, let's hope you get a second win later in life, mate.
No,
you're fine.
dude, no. See, I went to the doctor and took care of that. There will be no more of that shit.
Hey, man.
Please
go ahead.
Introduce yourself and let us know what's going on. I'm going to mute myself.
Hey, well, it's my name's Jason. It's Dread from Musician. My friends call me Dread. Have been calling me Dread for years because I've had fucking dreadlocks for the last 20 years probably. So, but yeah, I write flat Earth music, and I try and gather as many flat Earth musicians together as I can and try and collaborate. Unfortunately, lately I haven't been working so much on my flat Earth music. I've been too busy enjoying life, to be quite honest. I've become complacent somewhat lately, and I've just been enjoying myself. Like, life has been really good for me lately, and I have no complaints, right? But it's I'm trying not to lose sight of what's important, and I do want to maintain keep writing music. I bought all this great gear now. I just ordered a new green screen this week, so that'll be coming in delivery soon. So I'm just plugging away, still working like a slave, doing my thing. But I spread the flat Earth truth whenever I can. People hate me for it in my real life, right? Like work life. There's there's nobody in my daily life. I could provide hundreds of proofs, and it doesn't matter because they're not willing to just go there. It's way too far out of their comfort zone, So that's fine. It
would force them to change their entire life. Like, that's the thing. You hit a big nerve there. Like, just by entertain it. If they just entertain it, that would mean that they would have to talk about entertaining it to the other people who make fun of them for entertaining it. Because that there's people come in, they go, "You're even entertaining this theory?" And then, so they have to appease someone is so worried about what other people think of them. It's totally a psychological phenomenon.
It's a group mentality too. Once they're all in a group together, we're all a bunch of guys in a crew. The mob mentality kind of takes over. So none of them wanted. I've never cared about. I'm not that type of person. I don't want to fit in with a sick, fucking profoundly sick society. That doesn't appeal to me. So I don't want to fit in with these people. They're completely indoctrinated, brainwashed. It's sad. And I've tried to wake them up. I have said so many things. Just look at this. Please take a look at this. How about do this little test? Go look at this. take your fucking telescopic lens down to the ocean and take a look across the ocean. Tell me what you see, right? And they won't listen. They won't even look at the smallest
Fucking
piece of,
flat. Fucking so flat. What the
they
fuck?
won't listen.
Yeah.
I could stand up on a table and just be like screaming, "Look at this! Look, I've got the proof right here! Look!" And they wouldn't. They'd be like, "Nope, no, I'm not looking. No." It's just sad.
So the reason why they do that is that that would mean that they would have to admit that their whole entire lives they've been duped, and so
yeah,
their supreme intelligence and supreme ego, they will not allow themselves to. No, what do you mean? Like, I'm 25, I'm 30, I'm 35, I'm 40 years old. Are you trying to tell me that I've lived my whole entire life this way and that I'm wrong and that I've been duped? I'm hearing this from the first time from a guy with dreads or a guy with long hair.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me that a guy with dreads or a guy with long hair is telling me, and I never thought about it, and that oh no, I don't know,
no, it's not stupid. You're being fucked. No, you're being fucked in the ass. I don't care. You're being lied to beyond belief from the age of being a little child all the way through to your adolescent up until this point. Guys, wake up. I'm still waking up, and there's a lot of things to peeling the onion, but hey, mate, this is all a lie. Everything's a lie.
Agreed.
That's it. Please eat healthy. Grow your own garden. And grow your own herbs. Start reading about alchemy, how to make your own alcohol in your distilled water. When distilling it, your seventh time, do it through glass. There are things, if you do a water fast with pure water, you recode your cells. We've all been lied to. This is all just such a fucking lie, man. The body does not need to perish. We are meant to live for a fucking
long time.
Hundreds of years, yeah.
You're supposed to have children at 50. You know, not
very
fucking.
Interesting.
God damn it.
It's unbelievably interesting. Wow, yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to die. You know, you're gonna die. This is the life expectancy for each place. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, you're you're giving a life expectancy. I don't know about that. The whole thing is totally. Oh, if you got cancer, you're dead. You know, there's no way you can survive, come back from it. The whole thing. I'm about to watch. Years I've been saying this to my father and my mother, saying that the world is run by witches and warlocks, and usually unconscious witches and warlocks, because the conscious witches and warlocks are unknown, and they're just getting blowjobs by men and women every day of their lives, and they're probably old white people with weird spots all over their face and horrible bags under their eyes, and but the shit, I lost my. But the unconscious witches and warlocks are the people like. Let me name names to be specific. No, the first person that comes to mind, I mean, well, not the first. I thought of a whole bunch, but I don't want to name those names. So I'll say like Joe Rogan. Now, this is somebody who thinks that he's conscious, and he thinks that he's consciously aware. He's actually an unconscious warlock, meaning he works against the nature of the laws of nature.
Really?
Against natural law. What else? Oh, Dowell from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. I noticed he put out a video earlier yesterday, and it said we are all satanic witches and warlocks, and I haven't watched it, But I'm like, oh, there we go. Dell is fucking talking about it now. and I said this to my dad a couple of weeks ago. I said this to him about a month ago. I've said this to him a million times. I've said this to my roommate a million times. I've said this on stage in 2012 in front of fucking 50 people about how everyone is under a black magic spell, and it's induced by Mickey Mouse and Disney. And I mean, I got kicked off the stage when I said that. I got kicked off the stage.
Wow.
Immediately was
Over the target.
Yeah. Yep. Like literally, the bouncer was waiting for me to come up, and I couldn't even. My family was there watching me, and yeah, immediately I got kicked out of the building, permanently banned. And
for saying that about Disney.
Yep. And there's more to it. That I was like inciting riots and like inciting like violence. Yeah. I'm like, what? Like riots and violence, and I'm like, no, I was actually just talking comedy and politics and predicting everything, and everything I said came true. And so like I said to my dad, I was talking to my dad about how everything's about how they teach us in school and education is all it's all spells. It's all black magic and spells. That's why they teach us the alphabet, and that's why it's called spelling and the spelling bees. And we learn how to spell. And it's because they're teaching us spells, because the teachers are satanic witches and warlocks. And so they teach us how to spell. And that's what the English language is. That's what magic. There's black magic, white magic, gray magic. And I can go further into it. I can even get into red and blue magic. But I stick with those three because that's normally what most people can only handle. They don't even know that red and blue magic exists. They only know that black and white. They don't even realize that gray magic exists, that red and blue. What do you mean? This guy believes in magic? So not only do I already get ostracized for knowing that magic exists, between black and white, but actually knowing what gray magic is. Do you even know do you even know how to spell magic? Because if you spell magic with a C at the end, you're a brainwashed globehead. But if you spell magic with a K at the end, you actually know what you're talking about. So you might want to learn a little bit more and get on my level, become level-headed.
I had a brush with Wiccan for a while. That was interesting. I told you that story. You and me and IPS were talking about that one night, remember? Offline. Weren't you there talking? I was telling that story, but I told the story. I can move the mic a little closer. I told the story offline once we had finished the show. I had met this Wiccan woman who is quite interesting. Yeah, she's you know, how like I don't really know anything about magic, so I can't speak like you know more obviously than me. I'll just have to take your word for it on stuff because I'm a real pragmatic person. I don't know. I mean, I see magic in words, but that's the only thing I see magic. Well,
that's what it is. Magic is words.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's what you're referring to.
So if you know how to use
no, you know more than you know, brother. You know magic, because you see what music does to people. Dread, music. Your music and music moves people. You watch them; they trance out. You can transform a whole audience with your guitar.
I guess man. I never thought about as magic. I always thought of it as
it's just
this phenomenon, right? This is a phenomenon. I've never made the connection of magic to that.
Really magic, man. That's magic.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's hypnotism, and that's exactly what magic. Hypnotists use magic, and they either use it in a white way, a black way, or a gray way. Musicians use magic. They either use it in a white way, a black way, or a gray way. They use directors, you see? So you can be an author, you're writing it. A director, you're trying to show it. A performance artist, you're trying to portray it on stage, or a comedian. Comedians are immersed in black magic, man.
Oh, black magic.
So
who would be someone
egoic.
who would be immersed in white magic then? Who would be an example of someone who would be more white magic? I'm just curious.
I'm thinking. Hold on.
I have no idea.
Whew, that's a rarity. Honestly, the first person to come to my mind is
the white-haired comedian that died in 1998. What was his name?
Oh, George Carlin.
George Carlin. He was white magic, brother, because what he did is he popped your fucking bubble of your indecency of tricking society.
Yeah,
he didn't die in '98. He died in late in the mid 2000s.
Was it 1998? 2000 was it?
Oh, the mid 2000s.
Okay.
And in my opinion, he's the opposite of a white mage.
You reckon?
He's definitely. George Carlin is definitely either a black mage or a gray mage, in my opinion.
I lived with a white mage for a while, like a long time ago. He was a roommate of mine, and just this big fat dude.
I'm trying to think of a white mage.
I don't know.
Guys, a white mage.
He told me all sorts of weird tricks for stuff like, if you want to avoid spirits, you should hang a crow's feather over your bed and some shit like that. And,
I'd say Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson would be a white mage.
Cool.
Because most people they would assign him with pedophilia, but all the people
I don't believe
who
that
were hanging around Michael Jackson, like Corey Feldman, Corey Haim, Macaulay Culkin, all of these people who were raped by the Hollywood and music industry,
said that he never did anything.
They all admitted that Michael Jackson never touched him.
Right.
And that he never did anything weird, and that he was just a child and a friendly person and very helpful.
Yeah.
And that, so in my opinion, Michael Jackson would be close to a white mage.
Okay.
Bill Hicks is obviously. I mean, it's very hard to distinguish between a black mage and a gray mage. Oh, okay. So obviously, a black mage would be Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
So Aleister Crowley is a black mage, but he was talking about all types of magic. Aldous Huxley was a gray mage. Tim Leary was definitely a black mage, a black magician. Alan Watts, obviously. Alan Watts, you know Alan Watts?
Yeah, I know the name.
Obviously a gray mage.
Yeah.
Alan Watts is a gray mage. Robert Anton Wilson, a gray mage.
Oh, really?
Terrence McKenna, a gray mage, and maybe even a white mage. And most people will
is that because the gray mages kind of ride a more neutral stance in life, or
it's
what?
It's the middle path, Dredd.
Yeah.
So you have the fucking there's a thing called duality. Duality is black and white, and that's exactly what we're talking about: black mage, white mage. So, but if you're a gray mage, that means you're in the middle. You follow the middle way. That's the Taoist way, the gray way, the middle way, the Zen middle way, the Buddhist, the middle way. It's called that. It's called the middle way. It's a doctrine of Taoism and Zen. And honestly, it saved my life. I mean, I was lost in white magic and gray magic my entire life. For the first half of my life, immersed in white magic. For the middle part of my life, black. And now I'm just, so I see how I was obsessed with black and white magic, and but now I know the difference because I've done both, I've experienced both. So now I'm obviously the gray mage. I'm in the middle, and I choose to stay in the middle and straddle the fence. and that's why people don't want to fuck with me, and that's why Anthony described me as being unpredictable. He said, "Well, yeah, that's what a gray man. You can't anything. I can go anywhere. I can segue any direction. I can be emotional, funny, angry, hostile, confrontational, to the next minute in profound and talking things that you've never heard before and historical. It's like this is something that we can't. I mean, dude, Anthony is 50 years old. You're barely 40 years old. I'm fucking 32 years old. This shit, the people who are listening to us are all like 35, like 30, 40 years old. How old are you guys? How old are you people listening? Jesus, man, we have 35 people watching. So how old are you people watching? Are you men? You female? I'm
all ages. All ages.
I'm always like Dread. When I was in middle school, I was writing in my composition notebook polls and votes between tens and hundreds of people. I was asking and I was checking the list. Okay, these people think this and they want this, and I was doing multiple choice and asking these people questions in middle school, and then in high school it's like and then in high school I'm using a camera, and now I have a camera. I was influenced by Jackass, Johnny Knoxville, and the crew, and I'm like, oh, so they're getting so much esteem and praise, and they're going and they're asking and they're talking to everyone that they want to talk to, and they're famous now, and they're all a bunch of scumbag idiots, and I'm the director with my friends, scumbag idiots. I'm 15, 16 years old now. Instead of doing polls, now I'm directing and creating ideas and getting, it's just, this is almost 20 years ago, and now I'm 32 years old, and I never got MySpace. I never joined MySpace ever. I was anti-internet. That's the thing. I was anti-internet for so long. I never had a MySpace account. I didn't even join Facebook until 2010. I joined Facebook is because I decided to move across the country. And I moved from Buffalo to California, and the reason I did that, well, I have to have some friends and talk to my family somehow. Otherwise, I can just die or get lost, and they won't even know what happened to me. So I have to keep in touch with them somehow.
Damn it! One sec. I'm trying to. Sorry. I'm trying to bring up the chat on my phone. There. The fuck! I hate it when you're hitting the volume and the volume won't go down because it's locked into some other volume thing. I don't know how that works.
It's so YouTube. Hey, YouTube, mate. YouTube's fucking with you too. They mess.
Of course.
Nah,
of
they
course
do. They changed the algorithm on those. They're such buggers, mate.
Yeah. Nobody loves flat earthers. Nobody loves. No love for flat Earth. There's no love on flat Earth. Could there be?
But you know what? We're making sense.
Be another documentary.
You know what? I think the good thing about it, mate, they're starting to realize we're not going to go away.
No, this isn't going away. People are realizing it. The people I was telling 2.5 years ago that were like, "You're fucking nuts. What are you talking about, dude? The Earth is not flat. You're fucking retarded. Go do your research." And I was like, I did. I took a telescope to the ocean, man. I was looking at all sorts of shit I shouldn't be able to see. Like, trust me, man. Just go look at this shit. No, none of them will even look at one video or one piece of element of evidence. Like, just go look at this. You shouldn't be able to see that mountain over there. Look at this. Okay, we look at this. See how far away that mountain is? Well, according to the calculations of curvature and blah, 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 we shouldn't be able to see that. And we're seeing it. Well, that's because of blah, 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 right? So they'll just give me some ridiculous... an excuse that you have to believe in, not an answer that is like, oh, okay, shit, I was wrong. Okay, that makes sense. Pardon me. Forget I said anything. But here we are, almost 3 years later, and not one person has had that piece of evidence to go, well, this is why you're seeing it. It's always some ridiculous, you have to take our word for it type of advice, or please just, accept the expert's advice, right? It's like, I'm not willing to do that anymore. None of us are, right? So, anyways, shout out to Flat Earth Accord out there, or used to be Flat Earth. I think it's Flat Accord Music now. Who else is out there? Flat Accord Music.
What's up, Ed? We got Ed showing up out there. Yo, Ed, if you want to fucking.
Oh, hey, Ed.
You gotta.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I always like chat with Ed. Ed's our in-house rocket scientist. That's fucking awesome. We got a rocket scientist at least. Right on. Hey, Fep. Good to see you, Fep.
Fep's a fucking lunatic, dude. He was freaking out earlier.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay.
He was freaking out earlier.
I thought maybe he was a Fepe fan. So, but he's an anti-Fepe, is he? Is he anti?
I don't know. He was just. I don't know. We'll see.
I could give a fuck anymore, man. I'm so beyond all the politics, and this person's got a problem now, and this person's got a problem with this person, and they don't like that we push this idea and that idea. It's like, fuck off. The point of this forum, I believe, is that we can have this discussion. This discussion
absolutely fucking yes.
Jake,
that's
honestly,
it.
Jake
that's
Gibson,
fucking it. You nailed it,
we don't
brother.
Give a
you
fuck,
nailed it,
bro.
Hey, mate,
with your problems with the
that's
A
right.
model, like fuck.
That is right.
Care.
That's it. Just you know what? There's this. You don't fuck my wife. You don't come to my household. You can do what you want. This is a forum of speaking your mind, and I should not judge you. Or if I do, who gives a fuck? But you should be allowed to speak, and that's what I love about what Dan has on, and same with you, Dredd. It's having your freedom of expression, regardless if they're different.
It's true. We need our freedoms of expression. We need to be able to pose the questions and not feel nervous to ask the weird questions, right? Like, well, geez, could there be, an electromagnetic grid covering the whole earth, and could there be an ether surrounding us? Like, I want to fucking be able to talk about these things. I could give a fuck now. I'm so far beyond name calling and trolls and shit like that. And this focus on certain big channels who have the drama of the week or the problem is like, fuck, you're so flaky, dude. Like, Jake, fuck, wake up, dude. You're not the only fucking flat earther out here. We're not all shills. We're regular fucking people. Are you a regular person? Are you a man of your word? Because you seem like a total flake. If you're watching, you seem like a total flake, dude. You hardly talk to anybody over the last few years. I tried reaching out to you a few times. What am I, too shilly for you? I'm just a regular dude with a couple kids, with a job, plays guitar, used to be in a metal band. I'm a musician just like you, Jake. You never fucking bothered to reach out. And I've been friends with your little buddy there who helped you make that song, Thomas Scott. I've been friends with him and talked to him lots. Why have you never reached out and talked to me? I've talked to all the fucking musicians in this fucking movement, Jake, except you. Because what? You're too fucking good? You're too hot shit? Like, I don't mean talk like a Facebook message or some little quick Skype. I mean, like talk music. Sit down and talk Flat Earth and talk music. Well, you've never reached out. And I've talked to all the other musicians, but not you. For some reason, not fucking you. It makes me wonder, dude. Why?
I met him. He's stuck in his own ass, dude. I met him face to face.
His ego, or maybe he's threatened by me or something. I'm not trying to be a top banana. I'm trying to reach out and fucking work with these people so we can drive subculture up, right? We've got all our fucking researchers, and they're doing amazing work lifting us up. But now we need to attack from other angles, subculture angles, art, music, I don't know, movies.
Beautiful, absolutely.
Right? So this is just the angles that we take. Shout out to Dan W out there. Just I want to say hi. Cheers, brother. I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yep, dude. I'm gonna send you a link, Dan. I'm gonna
No, but keep on that dread. I'm telling you, art, music. When you look at all the Renaissance that have taken over tyranny, what have they always been? It's always about posting cartoons, art, and music, and the
Change
Joker
through
on the
art.
street. Absolutely.
It seems like the two major catalysts for change seem to be, and I hate to say it, but it's true, is art and war. Those are the two things. You have coups through war, and you have a changing of the masses, of the mass consciousness through art and culture, right? So I believe the subculture part to be a very important component. Films too. Go ahead, Dan.
There's also the art of the war of art.
Well, yeah, you can weaponize your art. I try to.
Yeah, there's not just the art of war. There's the war of art.
Oh no, absolutely. Oh my God, my wife's doing it, Maria. If you look at the fucking flack she's gone through in the last, yeah, well, she's definitely poking. She's poking the hornet's nest. Let's put it that way. She's a courageous lady, man. She's writing cartoons about certain people, about their life at home. Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
That's tough, man.
Oh yeah,
Honestly,
man.
that's really tough.
Yeah. She's copping some hot spots, but anyway, it is what it is. This is her love. Her love is to expose these bastards. So, yep, she's courageous.
Yeah, no, your wife is awesome, and you're a lucky guy. I one day hope to meet someone that I connect like that with. Is a woman who is woken up like that. Like she's just fucking wide awake, dude. And it's like I'm so it's like that's awesome. How did you fucking find her? It's like a needle in a haystack these days, man. I swear to God.
It's like finding a piece of hay in a needle stack.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe.
What?
Yeah,
I never heard that before.
You like that?
I will. Yeah, it is what it is, man. How I found her, it's just, it is harder than that. Needle in the haystack. You wouldn't believe how I met Maria, but anyway, that's for another day. But
no.
Okay, all right. That's a story, is it?
Oh no, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. I was in a cult, man. I was in a cult. Oh no, fuck, man.
You never told me about that, brother.
Just give a name and we'll go into it a different time.
Yeah, but a different time. Hey, but anyway, so I tell you what, mate. It's about people speaking with the truth, and that's what I love about music, Dread, and it's about art. We need to promote each other. You know, we need. You know
what you're doing, man. What you're doing is probably the greatest work of all. Like you are providing healthcare. Like I try and keep this shit in perspective for people and make sure that other people realize that
it's simple.
That I have this in perspective. Flat Earth is a big lie. It's the great deception and blah blah blah. But we just need to get over this shit and common knowledge, and then deal with the real fucking problems that are going on in the world, right? Like this isn't the real fucking problem. This is the fucking cherry on top problem. We just need to get this shit out of the way, and then we can deal with the real fucking issues, right?
And Dredd, you know what? There's some people out there in this community. If we put everybody to what they know about, there's some John over there that knows how to plant a fucking garden. And just if he came on once a month and just spoke to people about what he knows, how you can plant a garden.
Dude, I'm a horticulturist.
But yeah, we need to be
for years.
We need to be proactive, but everyone is just like he, she, me, cucky, fuck me. It's about I, me, my, mine. It's about this 4-letter word, man, and it's not fuck. It's about care. C-A-R-E. Just care. Let's care a bit, Fuck.
He said, she said bullshit.
It's not the he said, she said bullshit. Dude,
mate, all I can say is we need to care about just folk. It's really simple, mate. I care for people, even if I don't trust your ass. I want you healthy. Now, what the fuck do you call that?
compassion.
Yeah, I don't know what you call it, mate, but you know what? I believe that's who we are at the true who we are as people. I believe we all want that. You know, you know what? We do, man. I'm telling you. You know, a lot of people say, "Yeah,
Doesn't matter
fuck
where
you,
you're from.
asshole." Man, I just see so many people that are unhealthy, brother, and I just know you've just been sold a lie. You've been told to live a certain way, eat a certain type of food 3 times a day, like you're a farm animal. Yes, you
Fuck
eat.
that shit.
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You fuck. What am I, a cattle?
Yeah, I'm
You
not
know
some
what?
monkey
Yeah.
cattle fucking creature that needs to be told when to eat and how to behave and shit.
Yeah, what
Take
the
your
fuck is that?
take your diet and your model of how I should be, your Bible. I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody, but take your model, take your Bible, take your diet, and fuck off. I'm not interested.
No, no, no.
I'm sorry. I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
hold on a second, guys.
No, no,
Flat
no.
Earth Accord. Flat Accord Music. Shout out to you. And you said, Subgenius, I appreciate your Dunsworth mirror. Thank you, dude. Thank you, man. I mean, I cried to that. I cried to it by myself, and then when I showed my roommate, I cried to it, and I had to kind of almost hide my tears a little bit because
Was that about Leahy?
yeah.
Yeah, that was sad he died. He was such a good actor, man. He was so funny. Fuck.
Yeah, I put out a lot of good Leahy and Trailer Park Boys videos over the past couple of days, but
yeah, I watched a few of them.
Yo, all right, yo, I'm gonna copy and paste that into Skype right now, Ed.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't talked to Ed for a long time. I was watching him.
I just typed that into Skype, and there's
on Threads like yesterday. I think I was listening to.
There's 800 people with the same fucking thing that you just sent me. H-O Eddie.
Eddie. There's.
I typed that in, and there's
people.
Fucking,
the elitists are right. They're right.
So,
there's too many people.
Yo, my name on Skype is my name in real life, which is Daniel Falkenbach. D-A. Here, I'll just fucking. God damn it! It's.
You spell it in the chat, maybe.
Here, I'll spell it right here. This is my name. That's my name on Skype, Ed. So just fucking connect with me so I can give you the Hangout link if you want to join. I'll give you an update on the Lakers game. Brook Lopez is having his best game as a Laker. He is now 28 points and 3 blocks. It's 100 points Lakers to 88 points Brooklyn. Sorry, 89 points Brooklyn. They're at the free throw line. It's 10 minutes left. 10 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter, which is the final quarter, and it is a 10-point game. Lakers 100, Brooklyn 90, and it's Lakers ball, Lakers possession, and we have ourselves a ball game here, folks.
All right. That's good.
Kyle Kuzma taking it up, drives, he gets fouled, he's going to the line. Opportunity to push it to a 12-point game. I'm going to go back to talking to the people. So let's see here. Hang out. Oh.
Maybe that's what he meant. Hang out, Eddie. I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. I'm going to put that in then. So I'll put in hang out at Eddie. Yeah, it didn't come up. Ooh.
I'm sure yours will come up.
Yeah, just get mine there.
Hey, what kind of name was Falkenbach? Anyways, is that German or no?
Yeah.
Is it German? Yeah, it sounds German for sure.
Yeah, Falkenbach.
Falkenbach. Yeah, it just sounds very German. Guttural German.
There's a legendary underground German folk music band, metal, heavy metal, and their name is Falkenbach. It's spelled the exact same way as my last name.
They're not like Nickelback, are they? Just kidding.
No, they're a million times better.
I know, I'm just joking.
Dude, it's Viking metal folk music.
Oh wow, nice. I've heard some of that like Celtic Viking metal
Yeah,
shit.
that's
That's
exactly
like,
it, dude.
That
yeah,
sounds
it's
pretty cool,
crazy.
man. Is
Yeah,
it
it's pretty wild, man.
probably like
Death metal.
Scorpion death metal?
Yeah, it's hardcore shit for sure.
Yeah, something like Psycho. What do they call it? Psycho Stick from Canada. Have you heard them?
Nah.
Okay,
No.
yeah. Okay, put in a Psycho Stick. They're an incredible band. They're professionals by day, accountants and just but crazy fuckers at night. They get stuck into the beer, but they're pro musos, so they've been well educated. So when they get on their instruments, I won't say too much. I would rather let them show you what they do. They're pretty fucking crazy, man. They speak out of term. They've been kicked out a lot of places because of their opinions and the way they voice their opinions. And they're the craziest fucking band out there, man. Psycho Stick.
Cool.
Oh
That's
yeah.
funny.
Oh nice.
Right
They
on.
speak about pretty much about daily life and how stupid we are as a brainwashed society, and
Nice.
they sing it in the pub, and the pub sometimes the pub gets upset.
I've never been a part of a hangout that has fluctuated between 30, 35 viewers to 8 to 5 viewers. So like, it seriously has gone. It goes down to like 8 viewers, and then suddenly it goes up. To like
Okay,
35
so
viewers.
we have Beats Malone. Beats Malone in the chat, and he's asking, is the Illuminati real?
Well, yeah. Let's see here. Yes, but not on a level that some people say. Okay, so Beats Malone. See, you're a part of the Illuminati, whether you realize it or not. So you're asking me that question: are the Illuminati real? So that you're coming from a point of unacknowledgement and unconsciousness because you don't know. So you're asking somebody who does know and who is actually the leader of it. And so when you're talking to the leader of such an awakening Illuminatus type of thing, you have to realize that you and all of your friends are the leaders of
Oh, he
the
knows. No,
Illuminatus.
he's okay. Now he's saying he knows. He's just wondering if we could see his posts or not. Okay, so I think he's just fucking around.
Yeah, no.
Just fucking around. Just fucking
I
around.
know they are. I'm just wondering. Yeah.
No, do you believe the whole history of them originating from the Templars going underground and becoming the Illuminati? Is that the commonly accepted narrative that we kind of go with?
No, dude, there is no commonly accepted narrative.
That's the narrative I was kind of given. Because what
No,
happened
that's
with
a good
Templars?
one.
They kind of
That's
just
an advanced
disappeared,
one.
right?
That's a
And
good
they
one.
had they had amassed riches from the Crusades that would have.
Well, the Knights Templar were just the best weed dealers at the time, and I'm like that's the thing. Like they're just like the best weed dealers. Like they're it's about dealing hash and weed.
I don't know, man. They were more like the enforcers of you're going to believe in this globe and you're going to believe in this god and you're going to believe in this book. And if you don't, we're chopping your fucking head off. That's more like what the Templars did.
Here's the thing.
They killed off more people in the Crusades than they killed off in World War I and II combined.
Okay, here's the thing. The Templars were, based on my research, they go back to the 1300s. And they, in my opinion, were just the best weed dealers at the time. So, they're employed by the kings and queens, and they're on the roads protecting the people who and queens the most amount of money. If you pay the kings and queens on your journey to the new place that you're going to go to on your trek and odyssey across the world, you're going to need the Knights Templar to protect you. And so they're going to watch you from a distance while you're trekking across your little journey, and all these dirty little bandits are going to try to steal from you in your what's that
Honestly,
called? Carriage. And so you're going to need the Knights Templar to protect you. And so in the meantime, they're dealing you weed. They're dealing
weed things coming from
weed.
Okay.
They're dealing the people who want to kill the people in the carriage weed, and the whole thing is insane. And then you get into it even more. It's crazy. Nobody. I don't think anyone in the fire movement has said that besides me right now. And then you get into the hash dealers.
I've never even heard that before.
Which are
weed dealers?
Weed dealers.
What?
Huh?
I had no idea.
The hash dealers are the hashishians are even before the weed dealers. So the hashishians. Oh God, the hashishians, that deals with Kabbalah, with fucking assassins, and I've traced this back to 1050 AD. 1050 AD.
The Hashishians.
Which is
I've never even heard of that before. The Hashishians. That's incredible.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
he's absolutely correct, and the hashish was made in Turkish. He's absolutely fucking correct. Absolutely, and it's about time someone spoke a little bit about that. It's all bullshit.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Our history. It's about spoke about that.
It's totally fucked. So like China, it's all opium trade, and the Mossad, the Iraq, Iran, they're all guarding opium fields, and the cocaine and heroin is rampant. It's just all a giant drug war. It's just it's very simple. It's not.
Okay, I suppose
that's
so.
why
I thought it was more of a land and control the people's like ideas and want to instill their beliefs and crush anybody who did. That's kind of what I thought.
The reason why that land is there is it's because it's a gang fight between shamans arguing about the drugs. And so since their drug rules don't line up, they create imaginary border lines called countries and continents, and those drug rules are different in each state and country and continent. And that's actually what we're living inside of. No one realizes that, but that's what we're living inside of. In the United States of America, we have 25 states that it's legal to do your little cannabis business in, and then 25 states where it's illegal, and you'll get persecuted a lot easier and a lot worse than the other 25. It's not very united, in my opinion. I've been talking about this for over 5 years now.
So I just believe that the Illuminati are just one of many, many secret societies that constantly vie for power around the world. You know, the Freemasons and their Jesuit links and all that stuff, and you know, the Vatican and the American military industrialized complex. You know, like I see them all as separate entities who are all vying for power.
Yeah.
Over the masses, just to control the masses, right?
Well, and they're all trying to control
through
the world.
economics.
And it's interesting because they use media, the medium of media, to do that, to try to explain who's the leader, who's on top. We're winning. I'm winning. Nah. That's garbage. Nice. Right. Speaking of winning, Lakers are 10 points up on Brooklyn. 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Or 6. But somebody asked me that the other day, like, oh, it's like Robert Anton Wilson says that you should consider you and your close friends as the leaders of the conspiracy that runs the world. And it's interesting because when you look at the type of characters that Robert Anton Wilson was talking to throughout his whole life. Terrence McKenna, Alan Watts, Philip K. Dick, George Carlin. He was talking to some pretty influential people throughout his life. So if you want to talk about Illuminati type of members, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether or not Robert Anton Wilson, Terrence McKenna, Alan Watts, and George Carlin were a part of that club. And so it's quite interesting once you break it all down.
Definitely. Definitely. I'm just making a cup of tea while I'm listening here. Just don't mind me.
But yeah, I'm going to pour another drink here. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, I would join you in a drink, but I got to work later, so there'll be no drinking tonight, unfortunately. Save that for tomorrow. What do you think, Anthony? Can you hear me? Are you there? Do you, you still there, buddy? Check, check.
Here, mate. Hey, and just thinking about you guys as well. You know, the music, guys, is the key to this whole thing. Because music, one song can be translated into 100 languages.
That's true.
Like cartoons, and that's why I'm so happy with what Marie's doing, because it's about people just doing something like that, and you just break the barrier of about
maybe
fucking
I could
religion,
maybe I
about
could hire your wife to like do a caricature of me for
oh
like
man,
my channel or something. That would be kind of cool.
Now,
a picture or something.
THC, you were talking about music
she's a
being
great mom.
right? THC, you're talking about music. So you're right about that, because what's the last biggest giant Woodstock type of put together?
Oh
in,
God!
In the history of man, let's think about this in the past 40 years.
But then you realize there's like every year there's concerts that are bigger than Woodstock. Coachella, more people
Yes,
go to.
but you're talking about music though.
Yeah.
What music festivals are bigger than Woodstock?
Okay, good. Well, okay, good. So, I mean, my buddy here,
Coachella. What's the one in the South? Bonnaroo.
So he's talking about fucking music things that are even bigger. That's my whole point. Is that what creates big crowds is fucking music type of gatherings. So the biggest. What are you going to create a bigger crowd from? Political protest or a musical gathering? So that's why they do a musical gathering, to create a bigger political protest. You can create a bigger political protest by just creating a musical gathering. That's the whole fucking point of it. Holy shit, it's so simple to see through.
Well, it's nice when you put the pieces together.
We need so us as humans need fucking stimulation like music to get us off of our asses and go to a political protest.
That's also yeah, that's also
that's how I look at it. I'm like, if I was on that,
just buy your ticket. That's all.
Same with sporting events.
That's almost why they do that, because it's like these Roman empiricists are fucking creating bread and circus shows called sports and musical little gatherings, and we feel like we're doing something. Oh, we're cheering for a team. We're cheering for our favorite band. We're doing something to change the world. Yeah.
It's the same reason, like you said, the Romans had the gladiator fights, is get the fucking people's mind off of their horrible lives and give them a fucking distraction.
It's very defeatist type of attitude, but I don't feel that way. I mean, has the THC, you got a question here. Excuse me, sorry. Has the Australian guy read the book of Agent of Chaos?
No, I haven't, but I'm writing it down now. Why? Explain why.
Why are you asking him? Has he read the book Agent of Chaos? Because that sounds very familiar to me. Stuff you, cracker. Gay equals normal. If you're not gay, you're no longer normal. Everything is gay now. Okay, I'm putting you in a timeout. I don't want to read that type of shit anymore.
There's the man himself. It's Dan W. What's up, Dan?
Hey, Dan W.
Hey, don't
Oh,
say
he's-
it like that.
You're scaring me with your picture, bro. That's awesome.
Hey, but hey, Dread, I just want to say as well, mate, I really
Yes, buddy.
appreciate what you're doing, man. And we need to translate music into a language, you know, of what we're trying to express here. And all we want to do is just
No
just
way.
get them to open their eyes, mate. You know, and music's a great way, brother.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's my catalyst. It always has been my little affinity, right, that I've always had in my whole life since I was a
And you know
12 years
what?
old.
And I guarantee, yeah. And why I'm bringing it up, mate, because you know what? When you speak with Maria, work something out, get some cartoons out there, and get the movement going. Because I tell you what, if we don't start working out together, we're all going to get handed our hat. You know, it's inevitable. It's
you're
like
right.
a game. It's like a game. And if you do not have progression and movement and being smart at what's happening here, they're infiltrating and they're just being a little retarded. And, you know, you're going to have a lot of wackos out there, mate. It's just, we need to get more,
right.
we need to teach the truth, mate. That's what we need to do. Shit, before it's all gone.
Yeah, no, I know you're right. You're right. I need to get back on track. I've been too complacent lately. Yeah, you're right. I need to get back.
I don't want to be an old bloke in diapers, mate, being surrounded by retards.
We have to. We can't be stuck in a you know this echo chamber. YouTube is not going to serve all our needs, right?
Well,
it helped
it's
a lot of us
interesting.
connect and meet, but it's just one. It's just one medium. And now that YouTube is kind of imploding, we're having these issues now with YouTube, and they're demonetizing and this and that, censoring, and we need to put pressure on YouTube. We kind of need to use other platforms, right? And we need to spread this all over all other social medias. And that's really the only answer. That's the only fucking way around this. That's the only answer, is to put pressure on YouTube by using the other social media outlets more.
Yeah, new technology, man, new platform. Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. So we'll see what happens in the next little while with YouTube. But, you know, it's been an ugly scene for a lot of people complaining about their monetization isn't a fucking issue for me, because I refused. It was kind of one of the just a little thing I kind of told myself at the beginning. I was going to have a few rules I was going to set for myself. And one was, I'm not going to fucking monetize because I don't need to. And I don't like commercials. I fucking hate commercials. And I don't want to make my fucking friends and subs sit through even 5 seconds. Even 5 seconds is too much.
No.
Fuck that. Fuck it.
But people should be allowed their choice.
Yes, I agree. And I'm not judging or telling anybody else what to do. That was my personal choice.
I don't want to do it. Fuck that shit, man. I fucking hate commercials. I'm fucking anti-commercial, you fucking.
Yeah, so am I. So there's no way I'm going to have a fucking stupid commercial for some dumb shit right before my video or my song. It just, to me, it sets a fucking shitty
nothing you can do to
mood.
stop that.
You know, it's like, fuck that
But you know what? And people do it. It's their choice. Who gives a shit? It is what it is. You know what? I don't know.
Well, that's the game ender. I don't know what he gives a
What's the
fuck,
final
but,
score? What's the final score? Art?
Nice. Wow, that was nice. Oh god, there's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We only have
Dan's got a habit of doing that when you can come back. Like, there's 2 minutes left and it's a 9-point game. The game's not over.
It's not
Reggie
over.
Miller came back in a playoff game, down by 8. He scored 8 or 7. Scored 8 points in 8.9 seconds.
Yeah, that shit could happen quick.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's a 2-point
Was it Babe
shot
Ruth
and-
that said it ain't
What?
over? To the fat lady saying.
No, it wasn't Babe Ruth. It was Yogi Berra. It ain't
Yogi
over
Berra.
till-
Sorry, I'm not American. I'm sorry. I'm Canadian. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right, man. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm a Canadian fan. I take offense if someone does. But you don't know Yogi-isms? Come on. Oh, I understand, man. He also had ain't over till it ain't over till it's over. Baseball is 90% physical, 30% mental, which makes no sense, and that's the great part about it.
They're called yogiisms.
Yeah, he's got just look up like online like famous.
He's
sayings.
got shit tons?
Yogiism.
Yeah,
Really?
he's like a famous pedophile coach or something like that.
What?
Yogi Berra?
I don't know. So I assumed he's a pedophile.
He assumed he was a pedophile, yet he has more World Series rings than any other player.
Anyone who's successful in sports, I assume, is a pedophile. Sorry.
That's not good. That's not good.
Never seen such a blanket retarded statement ever.
It's a very stupid statement.
Kobe Bryant is one of the biggest pedophiles in NBA history. 5 rings, like second all-time leading scorer. If you're gauging success based on being a pedophile, Kobe Bryant certainly is a pedophile. Dude.
I retract my statement.
I got him on that one.
That's bad shit. That's bad.
You
Shouldn't be
Aldo?
laughing. I feel guilty for laughing at that.
So there's scumbags out there. I'm sure there's piece of shit. Like, I mean, dude, you
Oh,
see
of
this
course.
shit with OJ dressed up as OJ on Halloween while kids were trick or treating at his house?
Really?
Like he had an OJ Simpson Bills jersey on when kids came to his house to trick or treat. It was taking selfies with them and signing autographs and shit.
Wow.
What fucking parent in their right mind would let OJ Simpson sign something for their kid?
Here, OJ. Here, put these gloves on. Here, get a picture with your hands around my throat.
OJ,
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Click. Yeah, that was awesome, man. Thanks, man. Can you sign it?
OJ, could you sign my Bruno Lobbies? I appreciate it.
Fuck's sakes. Oh,
Honestly,
yeah.
I consider OJ to be innocent. And,
What?
Oh yeah.
No way. You are the only human being on earth. You and OJ are the only two motherfuckers.
No, OJ knows he did it. OJ doesn't even think. He's just
No,
not
OJ
saying
lies
anything.
to himself. OJ lies to himself, right?
No, I think honestly they're all
I didn't do
actors. No, I mean honestly they're all actors to me. They all play the same fucking acting parts.
Nice.
I would hate to take that role on OJ Simpson, man. It's like be one of the biggest sports stars in the world, be a movie star.
Dread.
Sacrifice yourself for us. Murder your wife and love or ex-wife.
No, she didn't die. She didn't die.
Okay.
What's her face? What was her? Nicole. What's her name?
Brown Simpson.
Nicole Simpson. Right?
Nicole Simpson.
She's actually Meg Kelly.
Megan Kelly?
Yeah, Megan Kelly.
Kelly, except Megan Kelly's like 30-something years old.
But if you look at Megan Kelly, she has faked her death, and yeah, look at it. So
Brown would be 65.
the whole
Who? Okay, say that again. Megan Kelly is who?
Nicole Brown Simpson.
yeah.
Yeah.
At least we got the Kardashians out of it as well. Of the whole thing.
Yes. So look that shit up, and these people they do it all the time. They do it all the time. That's how.
I don't know.
Honestly-
You're starting to wobble on the fucking conspiratard fence here a little bit, man. I don't know. Kind of fucking gonna lose my balance in a second. I don't know if I can stand it
3
too long.
years ago, I came across the information that there's about 100 actors, and they play each other's parts. We'll have one actor play 5 actors, and another actor play 3. Another actor plays 2, and another actor plays 7 or 8 or 6. These they play each other.
So they're swapping each other's wives?
They swap each other's wives. They
You
swap
can
each
go and
other's
fuck
friends.
yourself.
And they
You know
swap each
what? I
other's
don't
roles.
swap my
That's not a
wife.
conspiracy
That's
actor
bullshit.
swapping wives. That happens. Like, that's real. That's not a conspiracy.
I know it's real. That's why I'm including it into my theory.
But you're telling me, like, Tom Hanks could be Russell Crowe.
No, I'd say
like 5 other actors.
Tom Hanks is definitely a part of this giant. Tom Hanks is easily one of the most powerful people in Hollywood. Easily.
I did hear my buddy worked in Hollywood for a little bit, and he said, he goes, there's like 3 actors in all of Hollywood. Like, do you guys ever notice you'll see a guy like Robert De Niro put like a straight to DVD movie out, or like these big name actors will put out these movies that were never released in theaters?
Yeah.
You know, you got to think about it. Being a working actor, they get paid $500,000, a couple $1 million for small bit roles like that. You take that. He was telling me, he goes, there's like 3 actors in fucking Hollywood that won't do straight to TV movies because they don't have to. And he was saying like Denzel's one of them, Tom Hanks, and like I'm trying to think who else, because like you see, like I've seen Pacino do shit, I've seen De Niro do shit. I haven't seen Pesci do things in years, but who do you think is the other actor you think that doesn't? Oh, Meryl Streep. Total Illuminati puppet.
I wonder if any of them got their start as a crisis actor, right?
She's an awesome actress, though. I will say that. Oh, I'm Meryl Streep. I'm the greatest female actor of all time. Go fuck yourselves, you idiots. I'm Meryl Streep. I'm a man. That could be true. I would not be shocked to find out that Meryl Streep has a huge cock between her legs. Dude, these people are fucking. OJ said about like I guess Caitlyn Jenner was talking about like he did it, blah 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 blah. Oh, sorry, Caitlyn Jenner. What the fuck is wrong with you? Wait, Bruce Jenner.
Please tell me what you're talking about.
So Bruce Jenner, or do you want to call him Caitlyn, whatever. Yeah. Basically was interviewed and started talking about OJ and saying like, yeah, he did it. Like we all know he did it. Blah 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 blah. He's the only one that doesn't. And like. They asked OJ, what do you think Caitlyn Jenner making these statements? And OJ goes, I don't know Caitlyn. I've never met Caitlyn before. He goes, I know Bruce a little bit. He goes, I don't know Bruce that well. He goes,
OJ said this recently.
He goes, I don't know Caitlyn. He goes, but I will say this. He goes, he chose to be a woman, and he goes, he seems to get away with a lot more shit because of it. He's like, maybe he's on to something. Wow.
Yeah. I can believe that.
That's funny.
I saw that and I'm like, wow, fucking OJ's straight savage, bro.
Well.
Yeah, I have to say though, the Megyn Kelly and Nicole Brown Simpson, it doesn't add up to me. It's because Nicole Brown Simpson would be like 60-something now.
Nicole Simpson would be 60? What?
Look at her. Well, I mean, she was killed, what, in like 93? 92? She was 30-something, maybe 40 then? She's the same woman. That's 20-something years.
How old's Megyn Kelly?
What?
How old's Megyn Kelly?
Mid-30s.
Late 30s, early 40s, I'm guessing Megyn Kelly is?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
No way she's 55. Absolutely.
No, Megyn Kelly, is she the horrible blonde anchor that's like super right-wing fucking awful bitch from hell?
That might be what he might be talking about Ann Coulter.
Okay.
No, not Ann Coulter. Although
she's really skinny, tall, and skinny face, and she's like just awful fucking right-wing bitch. That's just.
Sorry, that's Man Coulter.
Oh.
Megyn Kelly is 46 years old.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of them.
Just like Alex Jones is 42.
They're awful.
Oh God! But that's a good one.
But the thing is, Dan, like she actually looks like a 46-year-old.
Like, did you ever look at Alex Jones' true age? They say that he's 42. He's 10 years younger than Joe Rogan. Dude. Joe Rogan looks 10 years younger than Alex Jones.
Dude, what am I bet? Tom is 29 years old.
Yeah.
Look at him.
You can tell he's still young.
Looks like he's.
Who-
No, he's
There's a buddy of mine.
He's got
The guy's like
smooth
29
skin.
years old, and he looks old, like older.
No, just because you're balding, just because you have no hair or you're balding, doesn't mean that you fucking look old. I've seen balding men that look fucking their age, that
But
30
Megyn
years
Kelly most certainly looks 46. Like, what about Megyn Kelly doesn't look 46 years old?
old.
Yeah,
She looks like she's easily 50 years old. Easily.
Easily?
Easily 50.
Maybe.
Well, you guys are kidding me. Let's see here.
What are you basing that on? Like,
Facial features.
could be 46 years old.
Where do these people look into the? See, like you're just like you're thinking that I haven't looked in the history of these people. Look into the history of Megyn Kelly. Where did she come from? Look into the history of Alex Jones and Megyn Kelly and where these people suddenly come from, and how they suddenly get put into the limelight. How they weren't there before, and all of a sudden, oh, they're like mainstream famous people.
Rodney Dangerfield didn't become famous until he was like 50. What are you talking about? It happens to people. They make careers later on in their life.
Rodney Dangerfield is nothing like Alex Jones or Megyn
But
Kelly.
you just said these people came out of nowhere. It's like Rodney Dangerfield didn't make it until like he was 50-something years old. He was a door-to-door salesman. Sometimes people make it later in life. They come out of nowhere. What about Adele? She's been performing for like 15 years, 20 years, and she came out of nowhere.
Adele,
She's absolutely amazing.
she definitely has some conspiracies going around about Adele, and
That she's actually
Really?
two people inside of her. It's Whitney Houston and
no,
Mariah Carey.
it's actually true that Randy Marsh is Adele, and they're not kidding about that. Or
What do you mean? Randy Marsh, a fictional cartoon character, is Adele? I would love to see where you're getting at.
no, but who was he portraying? Remember, Randy was portraying
Adele.
Was that who he was?
Yeah.
Was her?
Yeah, he was supposed to be a 16-year-old little girl.
That was her. Okay. All right. Good. Stupid asshole. Yeah, Joan Rivers faked her death. The thing, like that's where we get a little bit crazy. YouTube says Alex Jones replaced Bill Cooper. So Bill Cooper got assassinated, and then Alex Jones is. So does anyone know anything about Bill Cooper? Because he predicted
Well, I've
9/11
listened
and he
to him.
predicted
Yeah,
a
I
lot
don't-
of things.
Yeah, I've listened to his talks, his videos that are left over on YouTube. But yeah, interesting fellow. He was kind of like you said, Dan, before, like kind of 10 years ago. You know, he's kind of like old truth. You know, like I don't know. I respect Bill Cooper, but it's kind of like where I was like a long time ago. I feel like it's same with some of these other guys who like I used to rely on for some kinds of truth. I feel like the truths that they provide now are a little outdated and they haven't caught up yet. Guys like who's that guy that Mark Sargent interviewed like a year ago? He's like the famous space guy that he's been around forever. He's like the old dude, the really old guy who's like
Edger
into space.
Cool. I don't know.
He's like a famous professor guy, but he's like a conspiracy. He's kind of around the. Oh shit! What was his name?
I don't know, bro.
Eventually, yeah, okay. Anyways, so
somebody says Katy Perry. I'm sorry. Somebody says Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey.
Oh man,
I like that one. That one makes sense to me.
Like I was talking about this shit like 2 years ago, and now people are starting to finally.
What about this? What about the Flatlander one? Joan Rivers faked her death. What? She's pretty old, and I don't know. She said some shit before she died that kind of almost gives.
Everybody
reason.
thinks that she was assassinated because she said that Michelle Obama is a tranny and that she's actually Michael Obama.
Yeah.
And that she was killed within the week. But in reality, when you look at it, she was still alive 6 months after her death, and so it gets a little strange. Like, why? Listen, why are all these people alive? Biggie, Tupac, Michael Jackson, Joan Rivers, like all these people are still alive. They're all alive. I thought they all died. But why are they all alive? Why does everyone think that Bill Hicks is Alex Jones? Why does everyone think that David Bowie didn't die and that he's still alive? Why does everyone think, that all these people...
No smoke without fire.
What's up, Dan?
No smoke without fire? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. Yeah, no, I don't know. I question some of the some of the unusual, like all the Seattle bands, all the lead singers except for like Eddie Vedder, they're all dead now, and I kind of wonder if, yeah, especially guys like Chris Cornell, who were really level-headed, smart guys, seem to be right. Just committing suicide, and like Robin Williams.
Chris Cornell, Linkin Park. This shit is garbage, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy it, man. Something seems fishy there.
Dude.
These guys were at the top of their game. They were like the masters of what they do, right?
Like, do you think
what
this
did they know?
Different than JFK?
If people who are at that level are willing to supposedly commit suicide, then wow. Wow. What is there to look for? Like, I mean, that's Chris Cornell. I just don't buy it. I don't think he killed himself, man.
One of the greatest voices that ever existed.
Yeah. I think something happened to him, something else. I don't know what. I just don't buy that he killed himself. Same with Michael Jackson. I don't believe what happened to him.
Sorry to interrupt you, but when you're telling me this, you're reminding me of the Bill Hicks joke where he said, one of these days I'm going to get invited to a meeting, and I'm going to walk in, and the lights are going to go down, and there's going to be a shade projection that's going to come down, and all these people are going to light up their cigarettes and the cigars, and they're going to show an angle of the JFK assassination that has never been shown before. And they're going to look back at me and they're going to go, so you understand what you're dealing with here now, right?
Oh, the joke. Yeah. I remember that. The joke was when you become a new president, they take you to this back room and they put on the JFK and they show his head getting blown off and they go, got it, right? And then you follow the rules is what the joke was. You do what they say as president. You're a puppet.
I feel like when I heard that, my life was changed and I understood everything. And I feel like that's true. And
probably. I mean, it makes sense. I have a problem believing that. Well, first of all, that I like to make a few of these points to people to kind of try and wake them up. To newer people, I'll be like, listen, okay, if we already know that we are assets and that countries are run like companies, then do you know of any company that ever let their employees choose the president? I don't know of any. Do you? I don't think it's realistic, and I think it's a joke and a farce, and your vote is a waste of time. Sorry, right? But this is what I try and explain to people in a mellow way. Is like, who do you, what company do you know that lets the employees choose who the boss is? It doesn't work that way, and it's not working that way here. And I don't know, just things like this I like to point out, anyways. Sorry, I got off a little off track. What were we talking about? Sorry.
No, dude, you're not off track at all, man.
All right. That's just.
Dan, I turned your volume up. You're good. No, dude, you're not off track at all, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. We're talking about gangs, mafioso, hive mind mentality, collective unconscious mind mentality. This shit is deep. Shit goes deep.
We're going deep, yo.
We're infiltrated.
But Dan's tired over there,
Yeah. What have you been keeping up to lately, there, Dan? I haven't talked to you in a while. You've been busy, working lots, I guess.
Yeah, just working and stuff, and splitting up with my girlfriend. watching MGTOW on the internet. You know that MGTOW, men who go their own way. Have you ever heard that?
MGTOW? What?
Yeah, somebody sent a link to it. It's told me to start watching this. But it's a guy. It sounds like a bitter guy that's like against women. But he points out some truths about women and how they operate and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, I love women a little too much, probably. I'll be the first to admit it. I love women.
But you know what? It's all about social engineering. You got to understand, for 80 years we've been fucking crowd to be a fucking certain animal.
Well, it's more than that too, Anthony. If you look at it from a biological level, we're all just products of our replicating molecule, right? And our replicating molecule knows only one thing: how to replicate. So how do you replicate a molecule? You get yourself fixed. Then you write your own fucking path. You write your own. You are your own. You give your life your meaning rather than it being dictated to you by your replicating molecule. That's just one theory that I came up with. So you know what I mean? There's a few different things at work, right? I guess, you know.
But for it to work too, dude, you need people and other communities that are like-minded, because you know you still need that interaction between the groups of people that are doing it themselves. But the governments are making it so hard now for families to teach their children at home. They're making you sound like you're a fucking retard. You know, if your children don't get vaccines, or your daughter's not going to school and she's what? You know, they make you sound like you're a bad parent. You know, you just hear the tone of voices in the community with people that are doing homeschooling. And it's just such a shame, mate. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is.
It is, man.
Yeah, society's changed, hasn't it?
It's changed, dude.
It's messed up now.
Yeah, no. You know, communities really just need to stick together and you know, stand for what you believe in.
Yep. Absolutely.
You know, and you know what? It's about making our children great, how would you say, stewards. Because all we are, mate, we're fucking stewards. I don't own shit, dude. And, you know, and I want my children to be great stewards, you know, people that, you know, that won't bullshit you. And, you know, we just need more of us. You know, that's why I'm saying to all you young guys out there, go and find a lady and have a long-term relationship and have some children and have many more.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, if that's what you want. I mean, if that's not what you want, then don't have children.
Yeah, well, don't have children. That's right, you know. Horses for courses, mate. No, you're absolutely right, Fred.
It's definitely a serious, long-term investment of time and
Very
money
long
and
term.
your life. So unless you're really, really serious and sure about it, don't. If you can help it, you know. Most people just have, you know, it's usually by accident, I'm pretty sure. So most people don't plan it. So whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, I for a while I used to be an anti-natalist, and that's just anti-natalist. That's the belief that human beings should stop procreating. We should just stop. And that's what I believed for a while, man. Yeah, look it up. Antinatalism. Yeah, it's a little grim, perhaps, but I saw the human race for a while as potentially a parasite. Yeah, exactly. I used to think that way when I was an atheist, right? I used to think that we're just a parasite and you know, spinning on a ball, flying through a vast endless, and we're just destroying Mother Nature. I don't see things that way anymore. It's
No,
not.
no,
Not
that's a
the,
program. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
program.
It was. It's part of the atheist program. Once
Yeah.
you're in that little group, you start getting into these different discussions and
It just got
supposedly
infiltrated, brother.
intellectual groups, and
Yeah.
with people like Amazing Atheist, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
talking to people
Yeah.
like him and
Bacteria on a spinning rock in outer
The great
space.
intellects,
Yeah.
the great intellects, and it's just basically it's
yeah,
a dead
in
end road.
Mendum, yeah, these guys, and we debate these things, and on a certain level, I still agree with them on some of the stuff as far as um like what they would talk about with like I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to put it politically correctly. So I don't know. Antinatalism makes sense to me in a lot of ways. I think that when you look at certain countries where there's massive overpopulation, and it's out of control in certain cases. I don't think I'm not one of these like I don't agree with the elitists. Oh, there's way too many people in the world. We need to get rid of some people because we can't all this riffraff hanging around. Not like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean in some countries there's a problem, right? There's an issue with overpopulation. It's true, right? It's hard to deny it. So perhaps antinatalism could work in certain cases. I don't know. Anyways, screw it. It's not. It's part of the old paradigm. I'm part of the new paradigm now. So that was the way I used to think. You go through stages. I was a ufologist for years there, man. Studied the shit out of ufology, but now I just can't believe I wasted all those years on
It's not wasting
all these
those years.
books.
I did the same exact thing.
I don't know, but I wonder if
like-
all those books I read by Whitley Strieber and his accounts
But
of
that's
being
the thing.
abducted, and I could just
Listen, Dred, if you didn't read all that, when you would have come across the flat Earth shit, you would have went,
That's true.
I don't know.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, you're right.
exactly. That's how I look at it, because that's like there's a lot of flat earthers who go, they're asking other flat earthers, how did you come across this and how did you feel when you came across it? And a lot of flat earthers will admit, oh God, I felt like a fucking idiot, and I had to admit that everything was wrong and that I was an idiot. Me,
But see, now
it was a lot easier because like I've already been a conspiracy theorist for so long, like for over 5 years, like easily since 2010. And so when like 2013, 14 came along, when the flat Earth shit,
but now, Dan, I'm embarrassed.
It was so easy for me to accept. I was just like, oh, I found the Eric Dubé's Math Powerland and the clues, and more importantly, before all of that, a funny thing happened on the way to the moon, which is not Mark Sargent, not Eric Dubé, and not Math Powerland. Who the fuck did that?
And not a flat earther.
Who did that? Who did a funny thing happen on the way to the
Bart
moon?
Sibrel. Bart Sibrel.
You know who did that? Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. So I watched a funny thing happen on the way to the moon, and that's not any of their shit. So I saw that, and I'm like, oh. And then I came across their shit, and I'm like, oh, God. It was so easy for me to accept. Literally, I was like, immediate. It was almost immediate for me. And then all this, and then immediately I went to Esalen, and then I came back from Esalen back to my house, and the whole thing just started to collapse and on itself, and I felt like I was a main character in one of Robert Anton Wilson's novels. And I'm like, like why is the guy who's doing all this, and it seems like everything is correlating with what I'm doing. Like he's going to Esalen. That's what they're doing, and then there's characters in the novel who are trying to steer me away from the flat Earth. It's fucking weird, and yeah, that whole thing was really surreal and really weird, psychedelic, soberly psychedelic, and this whole thing is fucking.
It is. It's a bizarre trip, man.
It's like what the opposite of Saw. You remember when you see the movie Saw?
Oh, I can't watch that shit, dude. That's sick. That shit is too sick for me, man.
And their legs and their boobs inside of fucking shit and they're getting it all cut off.
Yeah, I
like
don't.
the quote unquote real reality is the opposite of watching Saw. It's
hey,
so like
Hangnail's in
so
chat. You want to
perfect.
send him an invite?
What?
Hangnail. Hangnail's in chat.
Oh yeah, yo, hook him up with a link.
I can't. I can't right now.
I got him.
I'm on my little tablet, and I don't think it.
I got him. Hangnail.
I don't know if he wants to join. I just thought I figured maybe it'd be cool.
Hangnail, you know what? I'm not gonna even fucking give you the link because it's in the fucking Musicians for Truth.
For Truth thing. Okay, perfect.
So like, go there, and if you can't figure that out, I will give you the link. You fucking asshole.
That's where I got it.
Exactly. It's still the same link. Go to that fucking group, get the link, and come in. Not that hard. You might go fuck yourself. But
my favorite peeps here. It's all good. It's good shit.
Oh fuck! I hit that pause.
But I got a new thing here. Hold on. The moon is it's phosphorescent.
Oh.
It you know how it phosphorescent means that it absorbs radiation from something out from somewhere else, which in my opinion is the sun. So the moon is like a sponge. It's just there. I don't know what the fuck it really is, but it is phosphorescent somethingness, or maybe nothingness, phosphorescent nothingness that is absorbing the sun's energy, like radiation,
and releasing it at night.
Radiation, and that its property as a phosphorant property, it emits the radiation from the object that it absorbed. So since it absorbed the sun's energy through the electromagnetic radiation spectrum, it is emitting phosphorescent light, and it is creating its own temperatures based on what it's absorbing, which is the sun.
It sounds legit to me. I'd like, I think that's worth investigating.
It's quite interesting. It's phosphorescent. It's called.
Hey, Dan, how could we put it into an experiment? If you describe it into a term where we can do a vacuum in like a 20-liter vacuum vessel, take it to like zero on the vacuum, and then basically how could we reproduce that to find out, we'd have
to buy that fucking temperature device, the temperature thermometer that
I've got
that detects the moon's emissions, and then it compares it to the shadows next to the moon's emissions, because there's a moonlight, so it's creating a moonlight, and that has a temperature, and then the shade, which is the moon shade, next to the moonlight, is creating its own temperature, but the moonlight is colder than the moon shade.
I can verify that.
So that means that it's the opposite of what the heliocentric model is telling us. And I don't know what I don't know what it's called. I don't know what that device is called. I'll have to look that up.
It's just a laser temperature gun. That's all. Isn't that the one you're talking about? Laser temperature gun?
Yeah, but it's not a laser temperature gun.
It's a little more.
It's like the opposite.
So it gives you a readout of the particles that are in the light of the moon. That's interesting.
It's just gauging the temperature, giving you the temperature of the light that's in front of you compared to the.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, it's a laser temperature gun. They're $25. They're $25 at Walmart if that's the ones you're looking for.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cheap. They just they're totally cheap and easy to get.
They got a really good brand for about $32. You get a really good laser
Sure.
gun. They're about 2 degrees off, man. I mean, they're really precise, dude. It saves me spending 350 for some pharmaceutical bullshit when you can go to Harbor Freight, exactly the same fucking thing.
There's two people in the chat rooms that are arguing amongst themselves, saying that moon temperature has been debunked, and then there's another person saying that you are right. I did the experiment myself.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter. People are gonna say that shit, Dan, all the time, and all you can do is do it yourself. If you do it yourself, it speaks for itself. No one can tell me shit now because I saw it with my own eyes and I did it twice, and it had the same results.
Exactly. You get like a 10 to 15 degree difference with the moon shade to the moonlight. So that proves
It's been debunked. I saw a video. I totally saw a video and it was debunked. Okay, well, you didn't go out and do it yourself, so you don't really know. So sorry. I know the whole science, and people are trying to tell you, cold is just the absence of heat. So how could it be emitting cold light? Well, how much of science do we truly understand that's like actually legitimate and isn't just a fucking folklore story, story time every time we hear, stories about so much. How much do we know about quantum physics being real? Do we know that quantum entanglement is a real thing? Or is this just a fucking story they've made up to wow us with more bullshit? So I don't know how the moon could put off, but the phosphorescent idea I do like. It still doesn't explain, Dan, of course, the whole, like, how the fuck why is it in a perfect elliptical orbit? Is it a ball? I don't know if it's a ball, dude. I'm still not convinced that it's a perfect ball. Like, I just don't know. Like, it just seems remarkable to me that it hasn't changed its spin or rotation at all. It's just been in this the same face we see every fucking day, every night.
Thousands and thousands of years.
So
and all the constellations.
I have a trouble believing it's just a big rock, and phosphorescent. That makes sense to me. That kind of holds some weight, I think, perhaps.
Little phosphorescent. I was.
I know what you mean.
Doing a little research into that, and phosphorescent means that it's absorbing electromagnetic radiation from another object, and it's emitting the energy that it creates off of that. Now that's not the same as it's reflecting the sun's light. That means nothing like that.
No,
it's
not, totally
the
different.
moon is reflecting the sun's light. No, that means that the moon is
absorbing.
It's not technically even there. It's not an object, and that it's absorbing what the sun is doing and emitting, and then it's emitting. It's like an emittingness. It's emitting at what the sun is emitting. It can't emit of its own, but it emits what the sun. You know what I mean. That's fucking that's beautiful. That's some super yin yang unity consciousness. No such thing as duality. No such thing as black white.
Ned Beulah's in the chat wants us to explain the crater shadows. Well, I want a globe head to explain the direct hits of the craters. Like, how do you have these craters coming in and at a perfectly straight angle facing the Earth? How did this asteroid go around the Earth and then hit the moon head on and create a perfect circular? Like, there's no skids, there's no sideways. Like, it's just fucked up. Hold on, sorry a sec.
Electrical discharge. Electrical discharge does exactly the same.
Sorry. Did that make any sense?
Yeah, it does. Electrical discharge does the same. You get an implosion. It happens.
Yeah. I don't know. Questions. I have questions.
So what's going on, fellas?
Questions. Hey,
hang on.
How you doing?
Yeah, I got questions too, mate. You talk about meteorites. I see things that flash off in the night sky. My daughter comes running in, tells me, geez, she's seen this flashing light. You go out there and you still see this big light. What is that? Through the... What is it? I don't know.
I've been doing a lot of thinking lately too, and that's kind of why I've.
What is it? Yeah.
I don't think I really have taken a look at everything, and flat Earth is. You have to admit, it's like it's a banner. It's like oh, the Earth is flat, and it's not about the Earth being flat. It's about the fact that it's not a globe and that it's not revolving around the sun. I have listened.
It's not how they're told.
I personally, after everything I have seen and looked at, I truly believe in my heart that mankind has never been, nor will we ever be, ever technologically capable of understanding the realm in which we live. So every time we try to map it out, every time we try to put it into a specific three-dimensional thing, it fails. And that's when the Globers laugh at us. And that's the thing. I mean, and this thing with Jake is just, it's ridiculous because he could have, we all could have gotten together, and we all know that there's been problems with maps, whatever. But have you ever talked to Cathexis? I've learned a lot of shit just from listening to him. He's a geocentric guy.
Yeah,
so
we're friends.
As far as I'm concerned, yeah, he's on our team. Fact of the matter is, there's still no curvature. And sometimes I have to think that maybe it's possible that we live in a four-dimensional realm, like the celestial sphere. Still, you can't deny. You can't just say, "Oh, there's a bunch of shit up there," and that's it. Like, it's almost as if God tricked us into thinking we live on a sphere, but we don't, because there's no fucking curvature. And
I don't think God would have tricked us into it. Like, I think this is a man-made lie. It seems like a fabricated mathematician's elaborate fucking lie. I mean, when you look at it, it's the whole thing falls apart. The whole globe falls apart. What do they have to rely on other than like this little celestial sphere thing they've brought up a few times, right? Like and even that will fall apart under scrutiny once you listen, to the right people discuss it. So, I don't know.
It's so bizarre.
The globe model has more holes than what we're assuming. What we're saying
that's out the window.
We're not making
garbage.
Assumptions, right? They're the ones that have jumped the gun, made assumptions, used a blanket word like gravity to explain this phenomenon, that phenomenon, right? So we're all tired of those weak ass explanations. So I believe our model at least our model is more intellectually honest, right? Sorry,
yeah, it's because we got the balls to question things. And let's face it, the solar system is a bunch of sun-worshipping freaks. Lucifer, it's the whole satanic thing. I don't want to say satanic, but yeah, it is. But
it might have been in its origins, but we can't say that everybody today who believes in the heliocentric model is a sun. You know what I mean? Like I walked around for most of my life, worshiping the sun and not even realizing it, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like believing I was on a globe and like, oh, I love the sun. Like I love being in the sun. And I guess that could be considered sun worship, perhaps, maybe, right? I didn't know I was worshiping the sun and I had no connection to any kind of esoteric bullshit there. But, in a sense, that's sun worship. And a lot of people might be guilty of that just by accident, right? Because they were taught this model.
I guess the moment that they put the Ptolemaic model out and they gave us this whole heliocentric model and they said we revolve around the sun takes center stage and we take second stage. And there's something, it's like the sun, yes, of course, it's wonderful. but it's to say we revolve around it is a fallacy. It's just mathematical conjecture. Even Copernicus knew that it was just like, if we were revolving around the sun, this is how it would work. It was easier mathematically for
Well,
the model.
what was the shit he was doing on his deathbed, Copernicus? Wasn't he having a moment of truth and spilling the beans or something on his deathbed? I can't remember. I don't know.
He was a priest. I mean, the whole thing's fucked up.
Yeah,
it's like you can almost debunk the heliocentric model without using any flat Earth videos. It's
Oh, I didn't use a flat Earth video to do it. I went out. I got the. Well, of course I heard it first on YouTube, and then I went and tested the world, right? And it was pretty easy. It was really easy to debunk, right? What are you gonna do, right?
I'm not a Bible
Still waiting
guy.
for answers. Yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely. We all are. This is a definitely a revolution of thought. But for any of us to say we know anything, the important thing is for all of us to be constantly stay on the objective, to constantly be ready to learn. Because I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of psyop kind of things going on in flat Earth. There's a lot of stupidity in flat Earth. There's a lot of set its various type of thought processing. Oh, this is how it is, and that's it. Like, you don't fucking know. Dude, most people haven't left the fucking
Your mic is cutting in and out, bro.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, you sound like Robocop, bro.
Sorry.
We've robbed your mom and see come on and kick your mom back here.
No, I just have to constantly stay a step ahead and not fall into bullshit, and that's the most important thing. Because the thing is we might not really fucking even be close to the truth, but at least we had the balls to defect from the satan, whatever you want to call it, the paradigm of we think we know where the fuck we are. That's the thing. I think the problem lies in is that humans need to know the answer. They need to know this is where we live. That's it. And I think that even the powers that be, once they got high enough, they're like, oh shit, we don't know where the fuck we live, but they needed to give us an answer so that we'd feel like we know, and then we feel better about ourselves. And that's why it's the model. People are trapped in a model. They feel like they know something with a model. Without a working model, you have nothing. You hear that all the time. Well, if you don't have a model, you got nothing. You ever stop to think that maybe we were never given dominion over certain things? We're not supposed to fucking know everything. Maybe,
it's possible.
Maybe maybe like life is just, we all have to accept as a human race that we just don't fucking know, nor can we.
I don't know. I'm not really willing to accept that. I'm not really willing yet to accept that we're not going to get to that level. I believe that, like, think about it perhaps maybe in this light as well. Like, what this lie has been perpetrated for a long time. The shit has been pulled over our eyes, and this paradigm has been constructed over hundreds of, if not maybe thousands of years. So tearing it down is not an overnight thing, right? We've got a lot of fucking work, so we need to look at the big picture, right? And we got to keep in mind and focus that this, right? The flat Earth is man. It means nothing. It means something. It opens up. It's the big picture. It opens you up to the big picture. You see all the other things. But once we get this shit nailed down, this is just the beginning, dude. We have so many more important things to fucking deal with that are problems, real fucking problems. Starving people, homelessness, blah, blah, blah. You know the fucking list. That's the real problems on Earth. Those are the real issues. Illiteracy, fucking blah, blah, blah. All these, you know what I'm saying? Those are the things that matter. Those are the things that matter. This flat Earth shit is bullshit. It's not bullshit, but it's not gonna. It's just, to me, flat Earth is the base. It's the base understanding. It's your foundation. Once you have your foundation laid, then you can make your fucking building. Then you can build upon it, right? But you need that fundamental fucking standing first. Otherwise, you're just not going to see everything. You're not going to see the chain of events that's led to this massive deception. I don't think. Like, you got a lot of purple pillars on YouTube, man. A lot of motherfuckers that think they're full of truth and they're full of shit because they just don't see it. They're still falling prey to the old paradigm, fucking the old picture. And I think
Exactly.
once we
That's
step
because
past
why
this flat Earth
Earth
thing,
it
Go ahead.
represents so much more. It represents so much more than just flat Earth. People can't get over that. What flat Earth means, it doesn't just mean, flat Earth. It means that, to me, flat Earth, like I've said a million times, it doesn't matter if it all came around full circle and it was a globe. What flat Earth means to me, it means you've opened your mind to the possibility that if they could lie about the shape of the Earth, then you could, then what, it basically, like, most people, like, why would they? The first thing's about why would they? How could they? This and that, the other thing. The thing is about flat Earth is that you open your mind to the possibility that they could, and once you realize that they actually could deceive us about the shape of the Earth, then everything underneath it begins to fall into place because you begin to question everything. You begin, you get the ability to say, well, holy shit. If they could, then that means everything else is questionable. Like most people, yes, they're like, yeah, the media is bullshit. They say politicians mislead us, but they're not really ready to say, holy shit, everything, not 60%, not 50% of the things you see and hear on the news is bullshit. But in order to unplug from the matrix, and that's what it really is, that this whole thing, you need to realize that, oh my God, everything that we see and read and hear on the TV is meant to control the space between our ears. That's all that it is. And once you realize that, it's literally a battle for your fucking mind, and they are perpetrating it constantly. You turn on your TV, they're constantly trying to steal your fucking mind, your heart,
dude,
everything.
You know how hard it is to get people to stop watching TV? That's one of the biggest challenges I've had with people is just trying to stop them from just watching as much, at least cut down. Like, just try and cut down, because I'm convinced at this point, this is just my feeling and my understanding, that TV is completely 150,000% filled with subliminal messages, to the point where it's completely out of control. Like, every commercial, it's mind control. And because they can have such a fast frame rate, there's no way our eyes are going to pick that shit up. And I even question whether, even if we slowed down the frames and checked it out frame by frame, even if we would catch a lot of it.
Oh, it's a total weapon.
They've gotten good. They've gotten good at it. Go ahead.
It's a total weapon. It's a total weapon of the state. It always has been. It's one of the original weapons of mind control.
I agree.
Well, one of the best.
Yeah.
Listen, there were before television mind control, there were theories. There was like gods, individuals like Newton and Einstein, Galileo, and Kepler, and they were like, oh, these people are like holy. And then all of a sudden, now you have the internet, and what changed? Tell me what changed.
Is that a bong in your hand, or are you just happy to see me? Sorry.
I mean, you notice it's all about emotional reaction. Whenever something happens, it's always meant to tug on people's heartstrings. They watch TV and they hear it the next day. Oh, did you hear what happened? Even commercials, little puppies and shit. It's like it's designed to make people feel a certain way. I mean, once you're like us,
play off your emotions,
see through
right?
it. Yeah, once you're like us and you can see through it, you kind of this filter where you can defend against it. Like I could watch TV with my mother, and like totally just like laugh at all the shit, laugh at how stupid it is.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're on your own time, you try and watch it, doesn't it irritate you when you see that shit? I can't watch
can't
it.
have a TV in my room. I can't
Yeah,
watch commercials.
it just
I only
irritates
have
the
the
fuck out
computer
of
in my
me.
room. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to have full control over what I see in here.
I have a
Ad
TV,
blockers
but
and
it's just
everything.
for my Xbox. The TV doesn't turn on unless the Xbox is on. The Xbox doesn't turn on unless there's smoke to join. So yeah, there you have it. But yeah, like you said, you can, if you understand the programming, you can stop it to a degree. But hang now, I believe to a degree that some of this subliminal stuff we're just not going to catch. It's going to get in our head, and we're still fighting it, perhaps. But I think it's getting in there somewhere, man. Somewhere in your consciousness, somewhere, right? Your
Yeah.
subconscious somewhere, right? So, and just planting itself, perhaps, and maybe, who knows? Maybe it's a small planted idea for something in the future that's going to happen, or something down the road. Who knows?
It's so fucked.
I know it's so fucked.
Every day, every single day, I find myself finding something that I have to deprogram myself. I had to accept the fact that we were all raised on television. I'm still just a white kid that grew up in the suburbs. You know, like I had
me
to
too,
realize that
man.
even though I've been through my share of shit, you know, I've been into places where I shouldn't have, belonged. My life's perception is still narrowed. It's still only my perception of life. It's not. I don't really have a worldly perception of life. All I know is what I've seen, read, and heard, and I mean that's all I can base my shit on. Thank
That's
God.
very
I mean,
wise.
I don't.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's constant deprogramming. It's constant unlearning. Constantly realizing that I don't know anything. Like I don't know shit, and I don't. I mean, sometimes I wonder. Like, are people so fucked from the TV because they live in a reality show? They almost live like they're characters on a TV show, and it's like,
Yes,
dude,
I can
like,
answer that real quick. Yes, yes, that's exactly what's going on.
people are, yeah, people are so
Yeah, they're
overly
fucked.
dramatic.
They're living in a fucking television world of consumerism and materialism bullshit, and where they've become desensitized to a lot of things, right? They become people with no affect. They have no, no inflection. They're like zombies. They're sheeple. You know what I mean? There's nothing going on there. They're one dimensional, right? That's the way I see a lot of the public, is just these kind of
It's the attention span.
sorry
Nobody,
one dimensional people stuck in their little TV shows and sports games, right? Fuck.
yeah. How many people do you know that actually read a book or even listen to an entire album from beginning to end anymore? Everyone
Well,
consumes
either than
things
me,
in
a
short.
couple.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we're a dying breed. Most
Yeah, we're
people don't
old.
read books anymore. Or if they do read books, it's like the TV equivalent of books. It's like James Patterson. It's like quick. It's quick. It's like basically shit. It's like the shit version. New York Times bestsellers does not determine good reading. You know, you know. You ever heard of David Foster Wallace? He wrote Infinite Jest. He was an English teacher, and he ended up committing suicide. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre, thing. He knew this guy was actually too intelligent, too smart to exist.
That's my moon
I mean,
tonight.
it's the most. It's sad that the most intelligent, the most perceptive. I don't say the most intelligent. I want to say the most perceptive people end up self-destructing because they literally can't handle living in this world that we've created for the mediocre mind. That's what it is. It's the political correctness. You can't say anything now without somebody getting offended. So now you have to make room for for absolute insanity.
And that's part of the game, right? We have to be able to
Yeah.
break those mental blocks, or those politically correct. Oh, you can't say this and you can't talk about that.
Oh, we're all the same. Guess what?
Those days are done, right? I'm just showing my
We're not
brain
all the
for some
same.
reason.
We're not all the fucking same. Now kids have to get awarded for, oh, you didn't win. Okay? That's a lesson in life. You weren't good enough. So you don't get an award for that. So maybe next time you will. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it all has to do with the media. They've homogenized us. They're like we're all the same, and we're not. Some of us are born leaders. Some of us are actually more intelligent than others, and are born and built to teach, to show. And some people are just built to follow and learn, and that's okay. It doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
but
not a bad thing.
didn't you listen to your founding fathers? You know, the guys who owned slaves. All men are created equal.
It's not true. It's not. It's not. Some people are just born leaders, and some people are born followers, and they're trying to make public schooling. Think about it. When a kid is gifted, what do they do with him? He has to be bored out of his mind. He'll probably get lower grades than the other kids because he's bored with what he's being taught. So now they have to lower the bar for what is necessary to pass high school, to pass tests. And so now what happens to the kids that actually are brilliant? I don't mean genius, but brilliant. That they have to sit and be taught at a mediocre level, and it's not fair. I mean, it's not fair that we all have to make room for people that are just fucking stupid, and that's what it is. This whole world's
No
becoming...
child left behind.
Yeah.
That's what we got the small bus for. Sorry, just kidding. No, I hear you.
Brother, can I say something there? You make dumb children. Children are naturally born brilliant. You make dumb children, there is a well thought out plan how you can, how can I say? It's like, it's like diffusing a fucking program. You're just mixing it up with Comcore, just how they're educated. It's just fucking confusing, man. I'm telling you, they're making our children so stupid. Common Core, man, it's evil. I don't know if you know much about it. It's a pretty wicked. It's a wicked form of teaching. There's a lot of information out there. If you don't know about it, please educate yourself because it's pretty wicked, dude. The way they mix up our children.
Well, maybe in the curriculum, through the curriculum knowledge. I come from a family of teachers, and there was always this is Canadian, though, Canadian curriculum, Canadian teachers, and they always had complaints about the school system, and it's basically the same complaints that you'd hear in the States. I'm sure lack of funding here or there, maybe, or a lack of enough teachers around, classes too big, this kind of same shit everywhere, right? And old textbooks from like 20 years ago and shit like that. And it's not a massive problem in Canada everywhere, but it happens here and there in different schools, I believe. And I heard it from teachers, right from the teacher's mouth. So I don't know. I feel like the teachers are removed from any burden of guilt because they believe the lies they teach, right? So kind of like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I have nothing. I don't have anything else to compare it to other than, the rest of society. When you're unknowing of the lies that you're spreading, you're perhaps removed from any burden of guilt. That's kind of what I believe. So I don't hold anybody at fault that disagrees with me or thinks I'm crazy or this or that, because I was there, I get it, right? So
yeah, there's no place anymore for greatness. Like some of us just have this ability to see through bullshit ever since we were kids. And instead, our entire lives were taught that we have a certain amount of options, and you just have to pick from those options. No one ever really tells us that you can break the mold.
Or that there's choices.
That there's right. It's all choice, and yet they call it the narrow way. You know, it's the path less trodden. If you if you believe and you feel in your heart that you are, you know, you are not something to be put in a box on a shelf
Right.
and to be labeled, then you can be that. I mean, that's the whole thing. That they rob us of that. They rob us of our. They have. I just. It hurts me to think how many people, how much potential in the world has been completely stomped out simply because people just don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they have the ability to be great, which all starts with being purely unashamed, honest. These are things. Instead, you have to identify with being like somebody else or being something, and that's why I've always gravitated towards these weirdos. I mean, I don't want to say weirdos, but I mean these oddball people. I've always gravitated towards many musicians that were totally different, that either ended up dead or certain writers that ended up, and I'm like, wow, why do I love these people's ability to communicate with us so well? And it's because they're like leaving a message. It's like it's almost like there's people that have left a message for us. It's like you can't kill the fucking message. John Lennon dead, or whoever, however many people in our history just instinctively knew that life was not everything. It wasn't the be all end all. They knew that there was something more to this. But instead, you're taught every single day that this is it. Pick your career. Go to school for some odd, get a degree, pick a career, and move forth. Get kids, get married, and so on and so forth. I have kicked the shit out of myself my entire life for not doing those things, and I've carried a certain amount of guilt. Like, why didn't I get the degree? Why didn't I get married? Why didn't I have kids and all that? And it's like that's what everybody's doing. Even many of my high school peers have all got married, they've got careers and this and that. And there's one part of me that used to feel like, fuck, am I just so far behind the eight ball that I should just fucking kill myself? Or
Don't say that.
Or yeah, no, or am I just, or I don't belong to that?
Yeah.
And I
exactly.
realized that like I don't. Like I just have to realize that everything that I've been through and that I've done and that I've perceived and that I've thought and that I've expressed is not in vain. It's not for no reason. You know, it's no matter what I do, I know that I want to know that when I die, that I leave something behind that makes the world slightly a better place. I mean, God knows I've done my share of selfish shit. I've been a selfish, almost a narcissist, just a piece. I've gone down that route. I have. I've been down that route. Look, I'm so fucking smart.
Takes
but,
a
like,
real
are you
man to
serious?
admit it, so that's
I
good
can
for
admit
you,
it.
man.
I can admit it. Yeah, no, I can. I can admit it. But I'm so far removed from that person now. And I'm not trying to say I'm some, oh, love everybody hippie bullshit. It's not about
No,
that.
but you've changed. A lot of us change, man. People change over time. Some of us change. Some of us hate change and never change. I like to do a thing, and I bet you a lot of truthers do this. I don't know if you guys do this, but like I'll take stock of my beliefs and morals and understandings every once in a while. I'll just sit back and, music is off, games are off, all the shit is off, YouTube is off. And I'll just think, think to myself, am I the same person I was a month ago, a week ago, a year ago, whatever, right? You know what I mean? Do I believe the same things? Have I changed fundamentally as a person? And I don't know. I feel like it's important to do that once in a while to keep yourself in check, right? If you have a big group of friends, that also helps too, because friends always help keep you in check too, to a degree, right?
Good point, man.
Keep it honest. But I like to do that once in a while. I'll just take stock of myself. Am I the same person? Have I changed in any way? And I like to think I'm pretty much the same motherfucker all the time. I don't go through mood swings and that shit. But we all change, and so I've changed in my understanding of my world, and my understanding is that I know fucking nothing.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. None of us have like fully calcified to a specific belief system. Like we were never really comfortable with going, here's my thing. And I've explored Buddhism, I've explored different religions, I've explored all kinds of things to try to make me a more wholesome person. But none of them defined me. Like they're interesting, they're wonderful. There's so much beautiful things to learn in the world. But at the end of the day, I still don't want to be anything other than myself. You know what I mean?
Cheers to that.
That's, yeah, man. I mean, like, I don't want to be defined by choices, mistakes, any of those things. It's like it's such an effort to be constantly on the blank page, to be constantly rebooting your belief systems, to constantly
Yeah,
be
I
fighting.
agree
My
with you.
biggest fear is being set in my ways. I never want to be set in my ways about anything.
If anything, this turns you people who kind of open up to these ideas. Whoa, I'll wait for that to stop. We all good? Where's that coming from? Okay, we all good? Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. What were we talking about? Shit, I don't know. The wind tunnel thing threw me off there. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. We were talking about constantly not, falling into a specific, role or belief system or whatever.
Yeah.
To be constantly changing is an effort. To be
Yeah,
ready
yeah.
to adapt.
Yeah, I guess that's important. You need that these days. Oh yeah, I think I was going to say something like I believe like all flat earthers kind of get to the point where they realize they learn to have like a what I picked up from a guy like a year or so ago is calling it a dynamic mind, and your dynamic mind will allow you to constantly be able to change your understandings and let go of any ego you have. I believe this and I know this is fact and this is the way that is and this is the way that you can let go of that ego that makes you think you know everything, and you can accept new information, have a dynamic mind that allows you to change your opinion on the fly as new information comes in. And I believe
Yeah.
that's very important. I believe that that's a fundamental property that all flat earthers really have, is this ability to adapt to new information, because we have to, because we're like you said, we're rebooting. This is like a reboot for a lot of us that woke up. We're like, okay, my education system is not going to cut it for my. It's not going to be enough understanding of my reality for me to just live happily ever after. I feel like I have not been given the proper answers, and the answers that I have been given have no substance, and there's nothing to them. And when I look for curvature with a telescope, I don't find it. When I try and make sense of no parallax in the stars, no movement of stars over not just thousands of years, but tens of thousands of years, like the same position, but we're flying through. Like the whole thing is so uncannily ridiculous to believe that we have to reboot. We have to restart, start fresh, and build the foundation where there's no curve and we're not moving. That's what I understand. Until someone can provide a little better evidence, then that's the ground I'm standing firmly on. And I'm
That's the
happy with
thing,
that.
man.
And
Sometimes I wonder if maybe we're just not permitted to fully understand where we live. Maybe we live in a realm that we're not given dominion, or we're not permitted to understand exactly where we live. And
but
that's the thing. Like,
don't you think that perhaps these ancient cultures probably understood where they lived? The ones
I
that
think
built these great fucking monuments and these incredible things around. I think they
Most
knew,
definitely.
dude.
I think they lived. I think they lived their lives with also with a sense of awe and wonder that is missing from today. We have to think we know everything, and I think they accepted that they didn't know everything, and the awe and the wonder that's what they held on to. They were spiritual. They were like, we don't. What they didn't know, and accepting what we don't know is what made them so beautiful. you know, maybe that's the key to all this is as humanity as a whole. Could you picture that on the mainstream front news? We don't know where the fuck we are. Accept it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. End of fucking story. We can't figure it out. It's multidimensional. It's beyond three-dimensional. You can't map it out. You can't. We live in a beautiful place, in a beautiful world, but we're not technologically, nor will we ever be technologically capable of fully mapping it out or understanding. And that's it. Maybe that's the whole fucking point to it all. It's that we're not supposed to know, and we're supposed to accept that we're not supposed to know. And that's it. The awe and wonder then returns. The holy shit, this is made for us. That sense of wonder makes us all like children again.
Yeah, I can agree with that, Hey Now. Absolutely.
Yeah, to a degree. I'm still going to desperately search for answers, though, because there's a part of my, that part of my inquisitive nature, the part of me that refuses to be lied to, the part of me that refuses to lie to myself, that needs more answers, right? And
well, I'm gonna keep learning till my dying day.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep searching for answers to this puzzle. I believe that there are some things that kind of resemble what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like some things like in the world now that are what I would call unsolvable puzzles and have been purposely constructed this way. I believe that the Great Pyramids and their hieroglyphics are unsolvable puzzles. I believe that to a great degree, a lot of it was purposely written to be mysterious and to not have any answers, but to just leave questions. And that's just from researching for years. Like there's just no valid answers from so many of these hieroglyphics. It's just garbage when you look at a lot of them. It's this shite.
But Zachary Sitchin said,
"No, Zachary." Yeah, exactly. Eh? Like we can trust a word he said, right? Fuck.
Yeah, how true is that?
I totally listened
bullshit.
to. Yeah. I was on. Like I listened to everything he said for a few years there, man, and I was totally on board with him and all his fucking cronies. Yeah, I feel stupid for listening to that shit now. What a bunch of nonsense. He totally misinterpreted.
Don't feel
those
stupid.
Dead
I
Sea
used to
Scrolls.
love
fucking gatekeeper.
Yeah, exactly. He's a gatekeeper to knowledge.
He's a gatekeeper. Yeah. It would sure be nice to know Sanskrit. Is that what it was in? Sanskrit? And be able to read it yourself, right? That'd be great. But I don't know Sanskrit. It's like
I do think that we're dealing with some kind of social or like a reformation of thought. You know, when I was younger, I used to think, oh my God, I just wanted to live in the 60s. And now I'm like, holy shit, this is bigger than the 60s. This shit ain't going away.
Oh, the 60s. Oh, man, they dropped the ball. They had a chance to get to this level, and it got crushed. They got crushed out, right? And that's why I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Like, when's that going to happen to us, right? I could see, like, yeah, there's agents here and there and stuff. And I don't want to get into the whole shill conversation, but there's got to be some kind of eventual kickback to this, or I've been leaning towards the possibility that this is a controlled release and that we do have an understanding of this world and that we have been misled purposely in the past. And now maybe the elitists are realizing, we can't have such a stupid society. Perhaps we need to bring everybody up a level to reach the next level of whatever. Who knows? Enlightenment or the next level of, okay, picture yourself ruling over the masses. Now, if it's a mass of monkeys, well, it's you know what I'm saying? Do you know where I'm going with this? What are you ruling over, right? If you got a bunch of monkeys,
people who think they're upgraded monkeys, domesticated primates.
So you lift up the whole human race, you bring them up a notch, and then rule them. perhaps it becomes more interesting from their perspective. I'm not sure. Like, what does life, what substance does life have after you become an elitist where money is no object and power is all there is, and you already have more power at your fingertips than you can possibly use. So I don't know what becomes the point of interest at this point. You dumb the people down even more. You keep dumbing them down so they're all autistic and we're all walking around fucked up. Like that's not gonna work, is it? Can we, we're all in a state of constant fear and we're half autistic all the time. Like it's like 1 in 4 people now are autistic. So what are they going for? Are we going for a profoundly sick, easy to control society, or is there a controlled release going on here? And perhaps they're realizing like we need to lift people up to a higher level of vibration, perhaps before they can feed off our fear. Maybe they've, our fear tanks have run empty on this vibrational state or something, right? No, I'm just joking around here. I'm just making shit up, right? But you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No, I know.
What is their objective here? Because it seems like flat Earth to me feels like it kind of feels like a controlled release after about 2.5 or 3 years
Honestly,
of
hold on.
people
I
and
got
nothing happening to us, right? Like
you just helped me out here. Listen to this now. You just really helped me out here. So now it's gotten to the point where the flat earthers are totally in control of the entire Earth and world. And it's gotten to the point where these people, the mediaists, they have to make up stories about how they're in control. But in reality, the flat earthers are totally have taken over at this point. And the whole entire media, their whole entire job is to say, globalists are still in control. Globalists still got it, and we're still doing a good job. We're globing it up. Globies be globbing. Globers be gloobing. Gloobin be globbing. Globers be globbing. Globing. And, yeah. But, there's actually over 100 million flat earthers, coming on 1 billion. And that really scared, and they're like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Honestly, in my opinion, there's over 1 billion flat earthers. In my honest opinion, there's close to 2 billion flat earthers.
No, that's more like it. It's good that you're speaking truth now. Yeah, about 2 billion. That's good, because you got to understand all the Asian people that nobody talks about.
The
Asians,
whole Philippines,
the Muslims,
the Islam.
No, how about Laos, Vietnam? They all know it's fucking flat, mate. Like their rice fields, dude.
That's in every single country. It's easily over 1 billion.
Yes. No, close to 2. Because we're waking up. They're already woken up. They already know it's flat, mate.
So if we're going by the pathetic standards of over 7.5 billion people, which I still don't believe, that means that almost half of the world is enlightened.
It's moving. I mean, I think it's a litmus test. I do think that this is something. The fact that it happened now, like why? It's just so bizarre that all of a sudden now people are waking up.
I'm hearing you talk, mate. I love you talking. I don't even know you 2 years ago. Why now? Why am I talking synthetic dread? Why am I talking to Dan? I've met most of you cats and you're awesome. So what the fuck is all this about? If you break it down to being frequency specific about a subject, how more refined can you get? I mean, what the fuck is going on?
You couldn't have told me 2 years ago that the only people that I could truly talk about, I could truly let all my thoughts hang out with, and chase the truth with are people that I haven't met face to face. You couldn't have told me that 2 years. Your best friends are going to be online. Get the fuck out of here.
I never
No
would
way.
have, I never would have thought this would have happened to me. I never would have thought this could have happened. I
Me
never
either.
would have guessed. Never would have guessed this.
Me either.
And it's not like it's gained me anything except for inner knowledge, and I feel like a better understanding of the world I live in, and just plain and simple, just truth. That's it. That's all it's gained me. And friendship, meeting all you great people, of course, right? Either than those things, I don't like. It's not like this is a trendy, fun. Hey, let's become flat earthers because it's the latest cool thing to do. No, it's caused me grief in a lot of ways, right? But my answers, I don't care because I won't lie to myself, and that's why we're all here. We don't care if you call us names. We want to find those answers. And it's not like I'm a little child brat demanding answers. I'm willing to empower myself and find the answers myself, but I need the means of which to go about doing that. Oh, shit again.
Hey, it's true, bro. Self-discovery, man. It's a beautiful thing. Peeling this fucking onion, man. It never ends, dude. I don't care what anyone says, you can continue for a long time. And the great thing about it, if you're still breathing, you should be peeling. If you're breathing, you should be peeling. You got to peel these layers off. It's about self-discovery. Never ends, man. Nature's beautiful. And why shouldn't you fucking self-discover anyway? What is there to hide? It's fuck, mate. There's so much beauty in this world. And these assholes are just coding everything with fear. Be scared about this or that. They portray my country to be fucking the poisonous country in the world. It's not it has poisonous creatures. It has poisonous creatures.
Australia. Oh, I thought you meant
Australia.
Yeah.
No, Australia. They say my country is really poisonous, the way they portray it. It's going to kill you.
10 deadliest snakes and
Yeah, I
spiders
know,
in the
but
world.
mate, but you know
Come on.
what?
And crocodiles.
Yeah, I know. But if you learn, oh man, it's amazing. If you just learn the culture and the people, they teach you, and you learn it within a fortnight, and you just get to know where to go and where not to go.
Welcome, Titan. How are you doing?
Hey, Titan.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.